And say, you might give it just a little bit, and then if we haven't got anything. So.
Okay, it's not showing anything. It says I'm in there, but it's not showing anything up on the big screen.
So on the big screen, what you need to do is you need to go. So wait, what's it? So you've joined the Zoom meeting on the big screen already, right?
I believe so, yes.
All right, you need to go up there. You need to tap the camera button to turn the camera on.
It says live there, so it looks like it's on.
Oh, where's the camera button? Where is that, Joseph?
So what does it show on the little tablet right now?
It shows Karen Pawloski Zoom meeting. It says mute, start video, maybe start video.
Hit start. Yes.
Okay, now it's a little thing in the corner.
All right. Look, I'm going to open the meeting right now on YouTube to see if it's good. Yeah, it looks like it's showing video now.
Okay. Alrighty, we'll go with this.
All right, bye.
Thanks, bye-bye. Let me put, why can I put pause?
If you're gonna pause it, I would just
Stop video?
stop the video and mute it until we start.
Whatever you're ready.
Yeah.
Okay, I stopped video. Now I need those. That's mute. Okay.
Struggling still.
Yes. I like it.
I think we're all here and we're broadcasting, so I stood. We have two members of the public. Anyone want to make a comment? Nope, head shaking. Well, thank you. Let's look at bills. Pretty much. Vast majority are part of the others.
Right, it was office help from the election and stuff, some supplies and stuff for the gas for the delivery trucks.
Right.
We had two poll workers we sent out to the nursing homes to vote people and so their stuff's on their channels.
So you see the crew pay, you have and the stipend as well as all
Yeah.
rolled up into one.
Yep, so it's all combined
Very good.
together.
All right.
Nursing homes. We went to Rockland Ridge down in Belpre. They went over to Harmer, in the county home. And I think it was maybe up to Water, I think it's called Waterview now, it's
Waterview,
Waterview.
That's Homer Hill, though?
Yeah, the one that's up there.
You know, changed hands so often. Oh, I'm good. I said they changed hands?
I move to pay the bills.
I have to abstain.
I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Passed.
For me abstaining.
All right, correspondence really deals with the election and
Yeah,
our
just our-
certification.
Yeah, our
process.
directive, that covers today, our work meeting today. So if you want, we can start with the provisional.
Okay,
Whatever you'd like to start with.
Okay.
you tell us.
Well, if you want, we can start with the biggest one first, which is, the first one that's listed here, the accept and valid. These are either, address changes, name changes, or both address and name changes. It also includes people who didn't have ID on election day, but brought it in during the full day care period. So those ones are.
Those are here.
Yeah.
And once we get those approved, then we can send those and get to work.
Yeah, then we can have them start with them. And this is that group. So I don't know if anyone wants to look at any of them. But there's,
368.
yes,
368. A lot of people have been calling in, saying it doesn't show that my vote, that my vote was counted. Not a lot, but some.
I mean, we've had like people. Which people's voter history doesn't show this election yet because we don't do that till after you guys certify today.
Right.
So.
Well, does anyone want to look through them?
Not through this one, I don't.
I mean, I think the staff's been doing this now for
For a
not
while,
100 years, but
yeah.
you know what you're doing.
I'll make a
Any
motion-
questions?
I'll make a motion that we approve, the first group of provisional ballots, March numbers 1 through 368.
Second.
All right.
What?
Any further, and we have, is there any further discussion with regard to the accepting the full ballot? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye.
I,
Opposed? Passes.
yeah, those are all the changes.
All right.
Got it.
All right, so I'll go ahead and take
So
these.
go ahead, get those.
And we do have some that we're waiting to hear from other counties, so they'll be trying to get a hold of those other counties too.
Right, and they'll be doing that review, or would they be, or it's actually, we have them.
Yeah, as long as we find out that whether they voted in the other county or not, it's.
Oh, I see what you're saying, yeah.
I can probably get that for you. I got it. Do you go back now or you wait till?
I'll let him get a little head start.
Okay. Start zipping.
Yeah.
So we will have a few more potentially, because they're checking with other counties to see if they voted,
And where's the list for that?
so.
Or we don't have it here?
But I will need to get you.
No, they're not, I don't think she's.
They're not listed, okay,
Yet.
so we're just waiting.
We're just waiting to see if they were registered in those other counties.
Right.
We worked yesterday and not all BOEs did.
These might be pending review.
Would they be that?
Like the rest of them?
Well, look on,
The last page,
well,
It's the last page.
or next to
or
last.
the next, so like,
Not ready yet.
Pending review.
there's a pending review
The ones that you're looking.
right in front of not
Are
registered.
they on the list?
Here it is.
They're-
They're
they're
in
part of
pending
this.
review, you're right.
Yeah, they're part of
Okay,
it.
oh my goodness.
So we can start with,
So where,
Something other.
yeah, well, you wanna go to the next group?
yeah.
They just came in and voted.
So the next group was, it's cut off part of it, it's they failed to provide the current address.
These are people who appeared.
Yeah, they voted, these ones were all at the polls. So this one, they provided an address, but it's not in our county, it was in Wayne County. So we figured they were a college student probably that voted here that didn't put their address here. They, we don't know where they live in Washington County.
So what ballot did they get?
If say at the top there, up in the,
Ariana too.
So is that one that if Wayne calls us back and then we can count it?
no,
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 because they didn't give us an address
They didn't
here, we
give us
don't know
an
where they're
address.
at, so.
They have to provide a current address.
Yeah.
Right.
yeah,
This one, the address they provided is the UPS store up by Giant Eagle. So there's no physical
that's not a
address
fit, no, no.
for where they live.
Can't lay their head there.
to be.
This one was the same as the first one, but it's Seneca County.
Oh, and it's not registered, okay.
Different,
Not only were they not there, but they're not registered.
been there many a times.
And then this one just didn't put any
Any
address at all.
address whatsoever.
Yeah. And then this last one, is kind of different, so we'll run it separately.
So this 370 is, there's several problems. This isn't a good address. It's not an,
And they're not
they're
registered.
not registered.
Right,
But
Would typically the poll worker make an inquiry?
yeah, they should, this was our people that.
Because they have a, is this I'm just trying to figure, it looks like
Yeah.
initials that don't bear any relationship.
Right, so that might have been a different poll worker,
Fascinating.
yeah, so I guess since I don't know if since they thought they were changing their name, they didn't need to put an address, I don't know. What they were thinking, but
No, Asa, that's the other.
they didn't give us any address?
No.
No address.
Yeah.
Okay.
okay.
So
And these people were given the opportunity to come in and give us these things?
So they were told on a,
They were told?
yeah, I mean, for that one, it's really, I mean, they needed to have done it that day. I mean, really what you cure is your ID if you didn't bring any ID.
I see. Well, why would the poll worker let her go away without putting an address? That's
Yeah.
like, that's wrong. I'm sorry. I mean, that's partly our mistake.
Right, I mean, yeah, they should have told her to put it on there, because it says required,
Yeah.
you know,
I mean,
next.
And-
That's unusual because Roxanne Marshall is is the provisional person down there, and that's unless she was busy with somebody else and whoever was helping her. That's.
Well, it almost looks like she put down that little note about what was transpiring in the voter's life, but then handed it off to two people at the provisional table.
Yeah.
So that probably needs to go
Well,
on your
shouldn't
list.
they also have said, oh,
Education.
do you have a
Is there one
Marietta
more, or
address
was that it?
or not?
Right,
I
I
mean-
mean, you know, yeah. But, and who knows what they said to her, but, I mean, we have no idea, because
Well, I mean, we
it's not
should
written
note
there.
that so that in the future, people,
Right.
if you
so we
see
can try to-
glaring things like that that can easily be fixed.
You should
do it. This one's kind of different, yeah, so we'll do it separately.
So, that number.
That one was
that-
704.
She should fill it out.
Oh, no.
Or, I'm sorry, 372.
All right,
So
so
this
we're
is.
looking at
I have a question.
369, 70,
Wait, Adam has a
71,
question.
I just have, I don't
Uh-huh.
know the answer to this, but for instance, these individuals who put down their address in Wayne County,
Right, and
in
Seneca.
Seneca County. If they went and voted in Seneca County and Wayne County, that's where they're registered to vote currently. Is that what you're
Right.
saying?
Well, maybe.
Maybe, but I mean,
Well, we didn't even look because
okay,
they didn't give us a Marietta address.
if they were registered to vote there, they'd have to,
They would have to have driven
Right,
there,
yeah,
yeah, or had an absentee ballot or,
because their current address is not in
right, not
Washington
here.
County.
Yeah.
Okay, I
So
need a
the
motion
369
on
is,
369, 70, 71, and 73.
Yeah, 72 is a
You
different.
I
haven't
see,
seen
okay.
72.
all right, I move to reject 369, 370, 371, and 373.
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye,
Aye.
opposed, passes.
Who seconded?
Now,
I did.
Oh,
SE number 372.
Okay, so this one, Melissa, here, our Melissa knows this person personally. And knows that they are living at an address other than the one that they provided on here. She did check with, I believe it was the person's aunt to verify it just before, she verified it yesterday on the aunt. This person is living at an address on State Route 26, just outside of Marietta, that was their grandparents' old residence.
So why was it provisional?
Because it was a different address than the one she was registered at. And I believe it was a name change. If you want her to
Yeah.
come
Is she
in.
in
Well,
between
I-
houses?
I mean,
Did she just get married?
Yeah, I mean,
I think maybe, let's see.
I mean, we,
Hey, Melissa.
name change associated with the marriage,
That's
is
why I
that
wonder
being
if she hasn't
moved?
moved in yet.
yeah, they're
Yeah.
back and forth, it could be all kinds of things.
We try not to
Erica.
use names, so
Right.
number.
I had contacted the aunt months ago because I saw activity and I thought maybe something with the grandmother. And
You
it's
saw activity where?
at the house that.
The State Route
The
26.
State Route 26 house. And, cause I pass there every day. Anyways, the aunt said that the grandmother had passed, I knew the grandfather had. But now the granddaughter was living there. So then when this came across, I knew she had got married. And I sent a message, I'm like, is she back with her parents? Cause that's her parents' address. And she said, no, that she was still there on 26. And that she's not sure if the case was, well, the estate was financed, is what she was.
With the exception of that, is this otherwise okay?
Yeah, otherwise it had all the information that was required.
Would it have changed?
I mean,
Would it
We
have
not,
changed
we
to
don't have to
ballot?
have a hearing or anything
I don't
about
know.
it.
Yeah.
It changed her
Somebody
location
should-
completely,
could
because
be
she
something,
went
'cause
from the
it
fair
could be
house out to.
temporary. I mean, there's lots of ways that
So
could
that would have
be.
been a wrong church, wrong pew.
What do
She
you
didn't
mean?
even, she voted the wrong ballot if she
Yeah.
decided.
Well, if she really resides on
No, but,
26, it's the wrong.
but she could be temporarily there, she could be staying there for purposes of protecting the house and the estate, there's lots of reasons that a person could be staying in another place, so without a full hearing, I don't know
We
how
have to have an
you.
evidentiary hearing.
Yeah,
or
'cause
anything to
I don't-
Determine her true residence.
That's correct,
Yeah.
I don't think you can just do it just because the aunt says, oh, well, she's staying there, well, that doesn't mean anything.
And this is her affirmation that that is her current address.
I mean, that's my thought.
What did the driver's license have for her address?
See, that I don't know
Yeah, we
because
don't know, because we didn't get to see.
that was at the precinct.
Well, here it is, here's the number,
She provided it.
yep,
So it's a situation where we have a challenge, but the challenge was not before the voter.
Right,
In other words, no one at the polling location challenged it.
Right.
So there could have been a discussion of, well, I moved there to fix the place up.
right,
Or I have an intent to return to the other
So-
address.
When
It's
When she pulled it
unlikely.
up on the poll pad, it brought up this address, not 26, correct?
correct.
oh, so it was the right address,
Yeah, I don't think we.
I say we accept it.
Discussed or challenged it on our own.
No, I don't think there's enough.
Because unless you had known all of this, we wouldn't be talking about it.
Correct,
Right.
And it matches our records, other than the name change, which you proved.
right.
So and everything else,
And we're sort of getting secondhand information
Right.
about what the intent was.
right,
So,
I
with
move to
regard to
accept,
ballot number 372,
I move to accept it.
You're welcome.
Second.
I have a motion,
A second.
we have a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes.
What can I call that?
So you
What-
can throw that. in.
372.
I know, but what can I?
It's just
It was
a
a
name
correction,
change.
name change, just a name change.
Name change.
I'll take it and have Melissa switch that to accepted in the provisional draft.
So we're gonna make a little note of this one.
So 372 was accepted.
Yes.
All right. I think we're now up to
This one.
74,
Yeah, and this one,
5 and 6.
I wrote in there, it was a date of birth. Problem.
Yeah, and notice there's a specific instruction.
What kind of, were they like, they put in this year instead of the other, I mean?
This one
I know,
didn't
yeah.
put anything,
Oh.
this one put none at all.
How can our?
And then we had two that put 2024.
I'm a little disappointed that
That one we see more often.
people would.
Yeah, these two put,
The-
2024.
Yeah,
So their month and day matched.
You know, let's. But they're not registered either.
No.
Can I
Okay,
just,
I'm very disappointed at our provisional people that they would allow something with a blank go by without at least pointing
Not
to it.
registered.
What precinct is that?
Muskingum East B,
So that was at the fairgrounds.
so we need to figure out a way to put that somewhere, because that's full.
No, these two, did they say when they,
Oh,
it was did both address changes, yeah, so those.
Do you want to leave these in piles?
Yeah, those are ones we're not counting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
That we see
keep a
more
pile
often,
of,
but that's so funny, because I didn't.
they don't have to, they can all just go on to pile.
the right with the current year,
This is not registered.
they also have the wrong address.
So with the ones, I believe with the ones that put 2024 that you can't, those because they're already registered to vote.
They are,
Yeah, those two are, their address changes.
which one, these two?
Yeah,
And they're correct, addresses?
one of them, one of them.
yeah, all the other information matched up,
Okay.
so we
It
just
says
figure
wrong
out,
address.
who they were.
721. This one says wrong address at the top.
That means that,
Oh, but
they were at their.
Okay,
yeah, but they
registered
showed
at the
it,
right
but they
address.
showed
Yeah,
whatever.
So that was the
Very
note
good,
the
okay.
worker put on.
So this one is just, this was purely the date of birth wrong.
Yeah,
And this one is the same thing.
Yeah.
June 10th, and they put
Yeah, so it's
this year
just the
instead of
year that's
54.
Is that, okay,
No, the real,
that's from us.
the real, yeah,
That's from
the
us.
real date is 54,
Yeah, we
just
were-
like the real date is 48.
Okay.
So are we allowed to accept these?
those ones, I believe so.
Is it, because for instance, this Douglas Washburn, his birthday is really June 10th of 54,
Yeah,
and this person's
That's
birthday
they
is.
could be an exception.
If the
Yeah.
affirmation contains the voter's date of birth,
And I
and
think-
month, day are different from the month.
they can exceed.
Okay, oh, okay, so it's in that.
So we
can do that.
we need to determine whether they met the requirements of 3505.
Well, so do they, yes, they showed proof, they showed an ID,
Yeah.
they showed an ID, they showed.
Birthday.
The current year. We get that on the applications too for people for absentee ballots, they'll do that same thing, they'll put.
Individual
the right
name is
month and
properly
day of
registered to vote, that's correct.
Yeah.
Individual name on the
Yeah.
information.
All right, that's
Well,
right.
maybe they're just, well, I
Individual
don't know.
provided all the information.
Yes, they all got the IDs,
And
yes.
then for the date that they signed the form,
One of the
they'll
following.
put the birthday.
Individual
Yeah.
provided photo ID,
Yeah,
time.
they did.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
so yes, I would say.
Okay, so we-
I think these
so we'll
three are
accept-
good to go.
well, the
Or
first
two
one
of
you
them.
can't,
Well,
yeah,
the one
because
can't
it's not
because
right.
that's-
Which one is that one?
So that's.
That is,
Four.
that number.
383. Or
No,
374.
374.
Okay, so I move to reject number 374.
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, passes.
I move to accept 375 and 376.
Okay.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, passes.
We are
First.
accepting three, yeah.
So we accept 374, or no, excuse me, 375 and 376, and we reject
Who seconded?
374.
Kidding.
Right.
Canadian.
Okay, So we had one with a signature.
Fascinating.
So 374 was rejected because of not registered. We accepted 375 and 376 because.
It had the minor year on the birthday.
And it meant exception one.
And yes.
Right.
Exception.
Exception one.
It's exception one, it met 3505, 183B3.
It's in this one, okay.
Give me a short hand of that.
All right.
Well-
Actually, let me go get a print off with this person.
Yeah, let's do that.
Signature, yeah,
So
so.
wasn't registered, but they were registered, and they showed a photo ID, and they met all the exceptions under this 183B3. So we voted to approve it.
Okay.
What we had, but met other,
Met everything
All
else.
all other criteria.
Wow. I was just testing.
Thank you.
There's the revised code this section.
Oh,
What's that? What are you looking at?
There's no-
It just-
Whoa, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
A whole
It
bunch.
just
Oh
sounds
my
mean,
gosh.
That
Oh, well, didn't people say they were gonna go to see if they could vote again?
I told him to write down the names if anybody did.
Well, guess what? A whole bunch.
There's a whole bunch of them.
378 to 421. Do we have to refer all those?
Well,
We do, don't we?
we do.
We have to send every one of
Have some notes.
The question I have is this, they actually voted, they got
They got
an
a provisional.
absentee and they didn't return the absentee, because I had, a couple people said they
No, you
filed.
would know that.
We would know that.
They would know that.
Okay, and they came in and said, hey, I got it, but I'm gonna do
We
it
have a
personally.
note.
Yeah, we
Okay.
download that as soon as the polls close on Sunday, well, we do it on Monday. We download all that information.
Yeah.
From our database onto the poll pad. So if they request.
Yeah.
If they requested an absentee, it'll show up on the
And
poll pad.
but these folks actually voted, tried to vote twice. They either voted in person and then they went back.
Oh, let's see what, I didn't get a chance to look at them, but we'll have to see if there was.
Well,
any-
if it says already voted, that means they either voted in person early or they sent an absentee and we received it and clocked it.
Right. And then they
Right.
showed up.
And then they showed up. But they were caught because they were all given provisional. And they insisted on taking the provisional. Gosh.
Well, let's see.
Or, if they, somebody sends in their absentee by mail and they don't trust the
Well, or
postal
if they,
service, you should just come in person.
if they didn't
Right.
receive,
No, but the poll pad would show.
The poll pad would show and they would say,
Okay,
That we
they-
already received your ballot.
We already
Yes.
received your ballot.
yes,
it would
you've
show.
already
Okay.
voted.
All right.
Yeah.
That's why you're provisional.
Yep.
That's why they're given a provisional.
The only difference I'm seeing is if they didn't receive their ballot or
Mhm.
did receive their ballot and decided, no, I'm just gonna go ahead and vote.
Well, that'd be
today."
different.
Right, that's what I want to make
You
sure.
wouldn't have it as already voted.
That's what I want to make
Yeah.
sure.
It would not be
Yeah.
listed
No,
as
that's a
already
whole
voted.
different,
Yeah, I
that's a whole
know.
different list,
We'll
Adam.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, well, I'm, yes and no, that I'm wondering if that group is, people who requested, didn't send,
Mhm.
if they weren't in the first group that we approved. Because they would have voted provisionally, they didn't attempt to, there was no absentee ballot coming in, or we didn't already have one.
Well, those
So
folks we
that
would
they
have
would
already
have had to
approved.
vote provisionally.
Right, and we would have
But-
already.
But they would have
approved.
then been good to go.
Right.
And we would have seen them in that big
Yeah,
Mhm.
they would,
packet,
right.
I'm thinking.
Because you would have waited when the time had gone, no absentee ballot received, your
Right,
provisional's good.
unless there's again, if that group's in there, probably we ought to try changing the the name of voter already voted. As opposed to, voter requested.
Well, we'll have to ask-
Requested,
We'll have to ask Mandy, but I am assuming when it says voter already voted, means they either voted in person here or we received their absentee ballot and scanned it.
right, and they came in.
And then they came.
Well, and as I say, we were told, some of the poll workers told me that they had heard that people were going to see if our processes worked and they were gonna try it.
All right,
Oh, my goodness.
so this is.
All right, this is a
Our thing is
signature.
Well, it's a signature and, he would have voted in the right polling location, but got the wrong ballot.
What number is that?
Say,
This is 377.
And how would he have been given the wrong ballot?
That would have been a poll worker.
Yeah, that would be a
Poll
poll
worker.
worker. This is his signature on file. And I believe his handwriting's bad, but I believe what he wrote was, we had this from, the 911, that his address is 1091. So that can go with
1089.
It's not really a signature.
Yeah, the address is not correct.
He has,
Well, he was changing it, cause
he has a
he
good,
must have built a new house or something. Like on the same property.
and this was good.
Yeah.
And
Whoa,
the C is somewhat,
Well, the C is
It's
close.
close, it's the same.
is that the only signature we have? He hasn't voted but for?
versus
I'm gonna look and see when the last time he.
I'm just saying,
You voted in October.
is that a poll pad signature? You know,
No, it's not a poll pad signature, it's one from a paper. That signature comes from a paper source.
so it's a better signature than a full type.
It looks like he printed
well, yeah, it's
his
clear.
last
that that's
name,
a
he printed
print.
his last
I
name.
can print off other signatures he had if you would want.
Sure.
Yeah, let's do that.
Casey
Oh,
went-
that's a shame. It looks like he
Other-
printed his name.
Yeah, it's a print.
That's a print, isn't it?
It is.
Cause the C is the
It
same.
matches, look
The
up
C,
top.
yeah.
It matches the print up top.
Yeah, that's, we just printed his name. Ah,
And he used a driver's license number.
Yeah.
So arguably there, I don't know if anyone looked at his driver's license, but it would have had a picture and a signature.
Well, they have to, if he went to the poll pads, then he showed his driver's license.
Well, but yeah, but I'm just saying, I would,
You could also
you know, the
compare.
provisional people again, if they're trying to identify folks, et cetera, apparently they don't, they just fill out a form,
The
that's their
provisional
role in
people-
life.
Don't have the full cat, they're not the ones that see.
Right, no, to be sure, I'm just saying though, if he had his driver's license, cause he gave the number and he had to redo it because on the provisional, you can see where he had to sort of re-scratch it. He had the numbers wrong or out of order. So I would have thought somebody would have looked at the driver's license. How else would they know that they have? Don't they, I mean, aren't they instructed?
At the provisional table?
Yeah, do they look to see if this person is the person at all?
No, they just assume that the check-in is correct.
well,
We never
it was
told him to
it was a
look at the license at
reassignment
the
by the
original table.
911 people.
I guess I'd like to hear from what other counties do on this.
Yeah.
I tell you-
It's not a,
A lot of
Do they
other
help the
counties-
voter or are they
Correct,
there
yeah.
to, gotcha.
God, what do
Well,
you do with that?
I think I'd like to do what Defiance does. She picks
Signature.
out of each polling location,
So we don't have a
she picks a
signature.
specific person that's all they do. You know, about 4 people, that's all they do is provisionals all day, and they
Right.
know those
Is that your
provisionals in and out.
signature?
I think I'm gonna start doing
Sure
that.
it's not.
Apparently not.
Well, I'm just curious again.
And I'll talk to the
Are they there to be
BLMs.
helpful or are they just the gotcha?
Well, and there's no exception, so,
There's
If
no
you
exception
printed
for
and-
the signature.
no, there's no exception for that.
Yeah.
Date of
So I
birth,
guess we have to,
photo ID.
what did we find?
There's,
2 other signatures?
well, there's several of them there.
Okay,
Oh. Whoa. Just 2 years ago, his signature looked like that? What?
That's consistent.
Yeah, that's consistent with that.
But it's clear that this is not a signature.
That's not a
No,
signature.
I don't even think we need to look
This
at these.
is-
No,
They printed it.
I just have to unfortunately reject it.
No exception.
377, I move to reject 377. The failure to have a signature.
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
No, wait, was he also the one that received the wrong ballot?
Yes.
Wrong ballot and signature.
Yeah, he was at the right polling
Well,
location.
Well, I
we
wouldn't
don't
even
care about the
mention
ballot.
signature.
He didn't have a
He didn't have
signature.
a signature.
Okay.
Well, the thing on the ballot will be an instruction for poll workers.
Right,
They gotta pay more attention to what they're
Please.
doing.
Okay, so did you vote to reject that one?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
did. Yeah, I'm just writing down ones that
Right.
want the other one.
All right.
Okay,
so now we got.
now we have
all
a
of
question.
these.
Which these are people who voted, or they were mailed a ballot.
Yes,
So that's why they're in that category.
Mailed about.
Oh,
and
so
we
they're not
received-
voted. Did any of them vote?
One of them did.
okay,
Well,
Yeah.
I'm feeling a little better.
I am
So I
too.
need to find, but I put them in that just so it'll categorize.
Well.
So these are voters
a weird
who
category.
were sent absentee ballots.
Right. But one
So
of
it's
them
not
is a.
really voter
No.
Essence a
Who
double.
were sent absentee.
Tut, tut, tut.
That makes more sense to me.
Well, I thought that was another category.
Sorry.
And have we verified that none of the absentees came back?
But yeah, none of, except for one of them did.
Okay. So which is that
Well, why
one?
don't we do
Well,
that?
that's what I'm gonna find in
singular?
here and,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, let's find the one that
Let's do
did come
the
back.
singular. Beginning to think that Jared's gonna be busy.
We'll wait to see what the one is. Me too.
Chasing down.
I'm like, oh God.
Feet.
We haven't sent all these signatures.
Yeah. I didn't know what part of me was like.
Well, if they voted twice, I'd be pissed. I'd be really pissed if this many people
Yeah.
voted twice. Oh my God, we got a hotbed of crazy out here.
That's a
Are
separate.
you kidding me? We'll probably have the feds down here if we had that.
Really? I know. Some kind of weird conspiracy thing going on.
Just a phone call to Nicole.
Yeah.
Let's get down here.
But we get,
We don't have
We got
enough
a little-
deputies to go out and interview these
I know,
people.
it's ridiculous.
Maybe we can put it in a different. I don't know, so.
Maybe check this way. Double check it.
Where were you last year?
Oh, it was in Missouri.
You were in Missouri.
Yeah, where abortion rights,
Did it?
yes.
Did you know that passed, the abortion has passed in many states that have? Not all of them. I believe Nebraska.
Yeah.
And Florida,
Yeah,
I'm not
I'm sure
sure.
that's-
They're 60%.
Yeah. I'm so glad.
Those are rejects, okay, but I mean, I just want to make sure we keep.
But I
Of the 10 days, I got an eyeball.
Hmm?
I got an eyeball.
All right,
So Clayton's not.
he's in the car, he's sleeping in the car. Well,
Nebraska.
I mean, he's in there whining at me. It's like, what are you doing that for? Normally you'd be asleep, so why are you whining?
The right to.
So he can sleep in the
access on
car.
ballot and then the government. About 9:30 on the right.
Scott doesn't have AM dogs, does he?
Scott doesn't have sound dogs. He keeps talking about it.
Because
I
Willie's
don't know.
clearly clear.
There's no question. And even when, and Scott will watch him and, I mean, he'll stay with Scott sometimes. He just like tolerates him. He's, I mean, he likes Scott, but it's not good. He's talking besides. Really would love to have a buddy.
Sure.
He would love to have
Scott would like to have a buddy.
What would he saw, what did you see a dog the other day on TV? Oh man, that would be accused of.
She said that 8 of 10 states has abortion rights, except Nebraska and Florida. Florida has a 60%
Right.
threshold.
Right,
And
They got like
Nebraska,
57%.
and they got 57%.
did they really? Wow.
Nebraska, she put it at,
The state put so citizens put like a yes campaign on the ballot and.
They put what?
The citizens did like a
yes,
campaign to get like rights on the ballot,
enshrine it. Mhm.
and then the state put a no campaign directly below it, and so people were confused, yeah.
So they both defeated?
The vote.
The no vote one.
Oh,
And where were you yesterday?
Oh, I
Because your
was,
office is right above mine, so I know when you're not there.
I was coming back from Cleveland. Instead of going to Grand Rapids this year, we went to Cleveland for Thanksgiving and Amy's birthday, so.
Amy's in Grand Rapids?
She's moving back to
And
Columbus though.
Oh, she really
Yeah.
good.
She's the district manager for Michigan and Indiana stores, some now, and then now she's going back to Columbus. She's got Columbus stores.
And where's Ellen?
She's up there too.
Is she coming back?
She's coming back too.
But your mother and father
Yeah.
are related.
Yeah,
Oh my
so
god.
we rented a house, like an Airbnb up there and just had like four days up there and.
Should meet in South Bend and go for lunch.
We've done that. One of Amy's stores is in South Bend. She has a few stores in South Bend.
Oh, there's.
So she was,
Okay, find it.
What was Amy's name, Joe? Is it?
It said something
it
about
was
like she
retail,
didn't think
retail
you
merchandising.
put postage on it, so she didn't think we were gonna get it. Was what the envelope had said.
so she had a reason for it.
Yeah, let me go check this one, cause that's the one that was that. Yeah, cause it said absentee ballot returned without postage. But we had received it.
I made our reservations, by the way, for the conference. I had them all emailed to me. So I have it all of everybody's.
But
So I
I'm
can
not,
print
I'm
it
not,
out.
right?
Yeah, you're not going.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so it's a 1 room, 2 beds, so if you wanna bring your fam.
What is this? Make sure I have it on my calendar.
The 10th or something, right? 8th, 9th.
January 7th, we're going up January 7th, it starts the 8th and ends the 10th. But we have the rooms for the 7th, for Tuesday night, because we start like at, I don't know, 9 or something
So
crazy.
seventh and 8th rooms for the
7th, 8th, and 9th.
We have room for the 9th.
Yeah, that's Thursday night. It ends Friday.
Oh. Good God. We have volleyball tournament that weekend in Columbus, so it was just
Do you want me to
where.
Hilton downtown? It's just 2 double beds though.
So it's on the 8th and the 9th.
Yeah, it starts, we're
The
going on
conference is
the
the 8th.
8th, 9th, and 10th.
Yeah, I have a trial on the 7th. It's a 1-dayer, so.
Okay, well, just come up that
Should
night.
be a 1-dayer.
But if you just wanna come up that night.
Yeah.
So it ends on Friday the tenth.
Yes.
Dad a day.
Or you could probably switch your room, I don't. I think it was 179 a night.
Yeah,
Which,
but they're not gonna honor that rate for the weekend.
I always heard if you went to a conference, you could get, like if you stayed there, extended your stay, you got the same rate.
Okay, yeah, it was this one here.
We need it for Friday and Saturday.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So if you wanna do the, and then we have a different one with Meg's camp. I'm gonna do those ones separate.
Well, what's the exceptions? Tell us the numbers so we can pull them out.
There's 413
Yeah,
and 386.
386.
So yeah, that on the second page of those ones,
Okay.
or one of those.
Did she say 413?
413.
413, 386.
Okay, so all these others were people, we gave them provisionals because we had mailed them.
Absentee ballots, and then they went to.
And then they did
polls
not
and
come
voted.
back.
You're right, their
So these-
absentees did not come back.
So these should be all okay.
Yes,
Alright.
And the provisionals are otherwise good to go.
yes.
The addresses are correct, birth dates, all that
Right,
stuff,
everything.
ID, et cetera.
Yep.
Okay,
So what numbers are we talking about?
378 through 385,
With the exceptions of 386 and 413.
and then,
386 to 385?
right, and 387
I'm not sure what.
to
That was in a
412,
note by the poll worker, so I'm not sure what they were.
and 414
But
to
that's good.
421.
Yeah, I mean, not matched, so.
Best thing.
There's no ballot.
So I move to accept those batches, 378 to 385, 387 to 412, and 414 to 421.
Second.
Have a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes.
So these were voters that received a ballot but did not return it?
Or they said they never received it. We're sent
Okay.
a
But
ballot.
they were mailed a
They
ballot.
were mailed a ballot
And
that
it
never,
didn't come
but it was
back.
never came back.
Yeah,
And
they
then
didn't
they
vote.
voted on election day.
Voted the ballot. Voted on election day.
Right. So the first one on the list will be what, 386?
Yeah, whatever, 386. This person, voted, they were registered to vote in Meigs County. So they went to Meigs, but they've now moved to Washington County. So they went to Meigs County and voted on election day. And then came down to Southbury, which is their polling location for here, where they live in Washington County. And voted a provisional there.
That's the acceptance.
And again, they were voted,
They voted, I believe, a regular ballot there.
they voted here.
In Meigs County, Melissa, that guy voted a regular ballot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's gonna take a picture of her tablet.
So that's one that probably.
Okay, that's we had referred that, right?
Okay.
So they voted in Meigs County and then came here and voted provisional.
Yes, they voted a regular ballot there.
On election day?
Yes.
Yeah, Belgrade.
And then they
And
came to
then,
Belgrade.
yeah,
You mean they voted in Meigs County and then drove to Belgrade and did this in person?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because they
we
now
were
live,
there.
they now live in Valparaiso.
And our poll worker called us to tell us, and then that evening, Meg
had
County
they
had called,
Had
and
they told the poll worker they voted?
I'm not sure how Meg
Nobody
County
is
found
that
out.
stupid, I would think.
Gosh,
Well,
no.
the interesting thing was the guy came in here election day and he said, where do I go vote? And I said, what's your name? And he gave it and I said, you still live at, well, actually live in Meigs County now. I said, we can't vote in Belpre, you gotta go to Meigs County. So I said, now you gotta contact them to figure out where you need to go vote. And then
Was this the same
It
individual?
has to be the same guy.
Okay.
No, it
No.
wasn't.
Wasn't the same guy.
Okay.
It was just odd, it's the same day, two different
Mhm.
people. Because he's actually, this guy is actually registered in Meigs County,
Right.
and our guy was registered here, they just,
But it
So do
moved,
we
so it was
register,
opposite.
do we report this to next sheriff or our
Who
sheriff?
do we report
Well, it
this
says
to?
his current address is,
Where do you vote
He's
first?
here.
He voted in Meg's first.
Well, see, it says
I
voting in
believe.
Meigs County, what does this say, number?
The potential fraud
And he
was in
voted.
Meg's, not here.
Yeah, regular,
Right.
and they're gonna send a copy of the poll book where he signed their poll book.
Right, so he voted. In other words, he didn't go through the provisional process
Right.
there.
He actually voted.
He voted and put it through the scanner.
See, I think the potential fraud was in Meg's, not here, because he didn't have a right to vote. in
Yeah, but we're the
Meg's.
second place he came.
Right.
But he was registered in.
But he had,
He's
he didn't
registered
have a
in
right to vote
Meg's.
in Meg's. He only had a right to vote here.
Yeah, because he lives here now is what he's saying, on there anyway.
Well.
So
I
they
think we
actually
send
let
it
him
off.
vote in Meg's?
We send it
Well,
off.
well,
Because his
registered there.
license probably said that address and he gave him that address and.
and then probably after he put his ballot through and he said, oh yeah, how do I change my address? Cause that's happened even here in Washington County.
Right.
After they might even move down the road, but.
Hmm.
Or move the town, another township over, but
I say report to both of them.
I think, but let them figure it out.
That's
Serious.
They can figure it out.
He doesn't get 2 votes.
So report it to both and let them sort it out.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, that's what I think.
So-
We need to reject
we
that.
reject this, right? And this is number,
386.
is this 386?
Yes, the green
Okay,
number.
386.
A different category. Do we wanna separate that since that's gonna get.
Well, yeah, should we make that a separate rejection, because that's report to the sheriff? Okay,
Do we
I got a
vote?
motion.
so yeah, I'll move to reject number 386.
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, passes.
The sheriff or the prosecutor?
So that brings us to 413.
Yes, and this was the one that her ballot, we did receive her ballot, I did a screenshot here, we received it on November 1st in the mail, her absentee ballot. But then she went on election day and voted provisional.
And told them that she was concerned.
Yeah, it noted at the top that the poll worker wrote, said she must have returned it without postage or thought she did, so I guess she didn't think we were gonna get it. I mean,
But we had it,
but we received it, yeah, on November 1st.
So the poll pad would have shown,
Showed her as absentee,
yeah, but.
so that's
received.
why
And like
yeah.
having voted received and she still insisted.
I would say, yeah.
So she received voter received absentee.
Yeah,
returned,
Returned
voted it
it.
and returned it.
And we
Yeah.
scanned
No
it,
postage.
supposedly.
So-
We don't know that.
At least the thought process
she
is.
thinks
We
she did
received.
without postage.
Whether it was
We
with or
still
without
have the
postage, we
envelope,
don't care.
we?
And voted,
Well, we
But
wouldn't,
we won't know
we can't
probably.
connect.
Yeah, I mean, unless she wrote her
She
return
voted
address, then we
absentee.
would know, which some people do, some people don't.
But the poll worker should have said, we have
You have voted.
Well, I think in the poll book, it just
says
shows that an absentee
Absentee.
was sent. It
Not
doesn't say,
received.
yeah, that it was received or not.
Yeah, but,
Alright.
So,
but if that handwriting is not ours,
right, it's
then
not
it was
in
a
the
poll
office, it
worker,
was a
so
poll
that
worker.
voter said, I ordered an absentee, I voted it, I returned it, but I don't think I had any postage on it, so I
don't
wanna
think that's
vote.
You're right. I don't think you're gonna get it.
Yeah, I
right.
thought the poll pad would tell the poll worker.
Yeah,
that
no,
Our
that-
office received it.
Yeah, it just says that it was.
okay, voted the absentee, we received on November 1st.
So I guess we reject this one.
Yeah, because we voted the
Because
absentee.
we've already
Right.
counted her.
Right.
Yeah.
So is this one we refer to the sheriff's department or not?
I don't think so.
No.
Okay.
I mean, I think the voter was very honest and
Yeah.
told everybody,
Yeah.
this is the reason I'm here.
Right.
All right, well, I move to reject 413.
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Passes.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, that's what we checked on.
Yeah.
Okay,
Rejections, you know.
oh, a bunch of no IDs.
These are ones that, I mean, our category says no ID, but they, were mostly expired, was there, or one says they had an Alabama ID. So they either forgot their ID, or it was expired, or it was an out of, not a good ID, out of state.
And there was no cure.
Right, these ones did not cure. They had the 4 days after the election to bring in their ID, and they did not.
And do we call these people in addition to having them told or not?
No,
This second one mentions a religious objection.
they, that's what they, they're not a registered voter,
Right.
but this is marked here for that, but that's not the case. They did not have a religious objection.
Right. Okay.
So that's what it was talking
I
about.
was gonna say, there's a special form they have.
No, this is one.
Yeah, that was not that was
Oh,
not the
okay,
case at all.
okay.
Okay, this one has Oregon,
Yeah,
nothing, but then it goes US passport.
I don't know, yeah,
Well, what does that mean when you mark US
It
passport?
means you prove citizenship.
Well, doesn't it,
But not residency.
No, I know, it doesn't.
But it can be used as a photo
I mean,
ID.
if the poll
A
workers
photo
did
ID,
see
not
that,
for
then.
registration.
well, isn't that why it's marked with an asterisk?
So, we could try to call them and see
I mean,
if they,
US passport. Yeah, so that's good for ID.
That's an ID.
That's an
Yeah.
ID.
As long as they're
ID.
registered.
That's
Yeah.
right,
Yeah,
that's a
That's
valid
good.
ID,
That's
a
proper
US
ID.
passport.
yeah,
and that's why you mark through.
yeah, we're
Yeah,
not,
Okay,
road
because the
order.
ID doesn't help.
doesn't,
Right,
yeah,
the
well, he has a
passport
passport, so
gives
he's
us
good.
ID.
And was he registered at this address?
let me see.
Yeah, we need to make sure it's registered.
If he's registered,
We'll check it
then,
to see if he was.
then he's good.
All of the Oregon
Well,
driver's license is
well,
good for ID, it's just not good for registration.
Well, and you could have moved here 6 months ago and. But if you're already registered in Ohio,
Yeah, which,
Yeah.
that's what. I think ID is good.
Yeah.
Now it's just. whether
so
it's
if the
registered.
registration address is correct, then it's
It's just,
good.
yeah, it's just a matter of registration.
I don't know how many passports we had. I haven't obviously talked to the poll workers. We had one in here. They used their passport.
Yeah, I think so, yes. Cause I put that in there. I started with one page from the English and the second one to have.
So if they're not registered, why are they listed here as a failed to provide ID? I mean, that should be a whole nother.
No ID.
Yeah.
I got numbers.
See here again, here's one that doesn't.
At that address.
Doesn't quite tell you what you need to know.
Expired ID.
That's an odd one. Again, only from the standpoint says no ID, but there's the ID. So historically, they put somewhere here that it's expired,
Yeah,
but all it says is no ID.
If they're not registered, I don't think they should be in any other pile. Cause we don't care about any of that other stuff.
Right, if they're not, this guy is registered at that address.
Oh, well then,
This one.
then he's
So he's
good.
good to
So
go.
we can,
Then he's good to go.
okay, come separate.
what number was that?
It was 424.
And then we had one that seems to have no ID down twice, but there's an ID. So I'm wondering, is it expired and they failed to write it?
It says expire, not registered.
I mean,
That
is-
might be,
You see what I'm saying?
yeah.
This
We
is
can
no
look up
ID.
on the-
Now, quickly look, see here, this one says no ID, there's an ID. Then there's a, down here, it says expired.
Right, so that's
So-
the person that is
No,
expired.
right.
So
But I'm
this
just-
person gave
Yeah, I
a
can look at
number,
this one.
But I'm
this
just
person
saying,
gave a number, but didn't give the ID, is that what the deal
Right,
is?
or sometimes they write the number on there, but it's expired anyway, but they'll still write the
Yeah,
number.
so
on
here's
there.
another one. It's just
Yeah,
like that.
so that one I can
So,
check.
Stockport addresses
We just need a
are,
brief-
We do have a
Yeah.
few Stockport addresses.
So that's Alabama, so that's not
but never
good.
came back and
They didn't
cured,
give us anything
or
else.
forgot.
Yeah, and they never came back.
Expired.
So these ones, we need to look on the ID site for,
Okay,
to see if it says expired.
and that is for that
Expired.
individual that you guys were
That's
waiting
expired.
for.
Okay, they wouldn't have those
This
on
one,
themselves.
These are, you know,
Qualified for one of
expired.
those.
Very
as
last
well.
one.
Yeah, here's this one too, Melissa.
They looked it up and it's expired.
And you check.
Yeah,
So we have to do some time.
And that had, okay.
Expired.
this was just proof from that one from Mike's County where he signed the whole book there and voted regular there. I mean, you already rejected it.
Bigger than
so-
life, twice as natural,
Expired.
yeah.
And make sure we keep all that together, because that's what we'll have to give to you.
Do we have that in that file, you wanna?
Yeah, it was on the.
That one back.
I see four to
I
a
can put it on.
So,
the-
I mean, there's nothing here, and there's no written here, there's no nothing. Again, our provisional people just did not do their job. I mean, granted, they're supposed to do that, but come on. I mean, there's no notes here, it says no ID, which is us saying.
Yeah, but when you have no ID in the ID section, it's no
It tells
ID.
us that it's no.
Well, no, I know that, but I mean, we don't know, they might have had ID and then whoever was doing the provisional didn't say, what's your ID and write it in here. You know, just to point to
Well,
it.
yeah, but you go to the poll book and you don't have your ID.
Mhm.
That's why you go
Yeah,
provisional.
So you're going to the provisional. I mean, at that point, the voter has some obligation to go, well, here's my license. Or,
Or go back and
But
get
we,
your license.
but do we know?
Come back.
I mean,
Well-
unless- unfortunately, since there's no indication here, other than that, you don't know, maybe, I don't know, maybe it was
Well-
something else. I don't know.
What was that?
It should have said no ID. I mean, in the poll worker or
well,
the,
doesn't it scribbled anywhere where it's?
no, that's our red is us, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can look to see what they put in the poll book, what the poll worker.
Well, it says no ID up here.
That's your
All
number.
writing.
Oh, that's our name.
There's nothing in there from the provisional person.
Yeah,
That's what.
the only thing is that, again, the voter didn't put an ID in,
Right.
so. That's the voter's responsibility to fill that blank.
I understand, but the provisional person could have pointed to it.
Well,
Or like you said, maybe it is because they didn't have an ID, and if they should have said it, they should have written on there, no ID.
right. Or
We
they
told
had.
the
one that
VLMs,
won't
I know
show.
we told the VLMs.
To do that.
They have to, please have a reason on your provisionals.
Yes,
I have a question here. Let's see. I'm looking at 422,
that's the
then
first one.
423.
Yeah,
I don't see a 424 or 425. We-
424
Well,
we
there's a
accept.
couple that are being looked at,
Right,
and there's
Okay.
one sitting over here we're gonna
And
talk
she's
about.
checking.
she's checking the license on one.
Yeah,
All right.
424 is the
So
passport.
maybe 425, I'm not seeing.
That may be the one she's checking the driver's license on.
435 as well. So 425.
So what's happening with that guy?
Yeah, well, again, my interest was where it said no ID and then there was an ID listed. You know, how that.
But some people know their driver's ID.
443.
Well, no, I know, I mean, I realize that, but.
I marked 443 as well.
Some people used to
443
put
is
it
also
on
not
their
on that list.
checks.
Okay,
Okay, these two, the poll worker put in this is what they put in
Poll book.
the poll book, and they put, let me see how they put it. Which one of those?
what numbers are these?
Not the number.
Which number are we talking about now? We're dealing with
The green.
425.
Yeah,
Okay.
they put no identification,
Okay,
425 was no ID.
okay, well, that's fine, so they
which
did ask,
probably means it was expired.
or, but doesn't
I
matter,
mean,
that's
they didn't
okay.
pick that, they didn't.
As long
pick
as
that, picked
it
no
was clear, okay,
identification.
what's the other one?
And the other one was the.
The other one is 440.
They did the same thing.
3.
They selected no identification.
Okay, all right, so that's four
That's where
forty-three,
it says no ID.
So they really,
It's on the back.
so there's no ID, okay,
That
that's
should be
fine,
expired.
Another reason.
What about
Yeah,
435?
Because that's an ID.
It is an ID.
right,
So we
Mandy,
should say.
What about
expired.
435? Is that the one
I'm
that's in there?
curious, do we
No,
have
that's
the
424.
ability to,
We're
See
missing
if it's
435.
That might be the one Melissa has.
Oh, okay.
okay, can we check the expiration?
What?
I still have.
She still has.
Okay, yeah, she has that.
can we check expirations?
We can, but they might have, they could have done it today. and
Yeah,
it'll
but
show it's
won't
not
it show up
expired.
as reissued or
It won't,
valid?
it doesn't give you the date.
Well,
It'll
we can
just say
check
it's
and
valid
see, we
now.
can at least see,
See, it
it may
does for
still
the
be,
court.
Yeah, they might not have,
It does for the court.
yeah, I know
I
that,
mean, when I sit on the bench,
right. you
I
can
know
check.
what I get to see. I get to see when they re-upped.
But we can check, it may still be.
They'll tell
expired.
me, oh, I re-upped on this day.
Right, and it's.
And it
okay.
wasn't in
Hold on,
there, and
let me
I'm
just
looking
check
going, no,
these.
you re-upped yesterday, it's right there.
Let me check.
you wanna
Those two.
go on the B and B and.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see, I'm just
Now, this is
curious,
just
look
looking
and
for-
see if they'll give you a date that became valid.
It doesn't. I can tell you it doesn't.
There was some that we
It just
had
tells you it's valid as of today.
We'll just check and see if it's valid,
Okay,
that's
can we
the,
check that one too then?
Well, can we call the BMV and ask? what
They
it was
probably
issued?
won't
I don't, I mean, I don't think they'd give us that.
They're only gonna give what, you know, the
Are
court
you
has
just
a
looking at the
different
public
look.
site?
Yeah.
You're just looking at a public.
We're
site.
looking at a public site. Yeah, we don't have access to B and B information.
Well, the issue is not, correct me if I'm wrong, but the issue is not whether they have a valid operator's license, it's whether they presented
Like you're the-
an unexpired valid ID.
Right.
It's not,
I mean,
it's not whether or not they can operate a vehicle in the state.
Right.
So if
Sometimes.
they present an expired license, it is not a valid
It's
ID,
not a valid
right?
ID.
Yeah. I mean,
Even if they have
anytime
another one
between
at
now and
home,
election
they're
day,
not
they
presenting the
could have
valid form.
To be sure.
all right,
To
so
be sure.
Fixed it.
I
Yeah.
am.
I just, it would be nice if,
Okay,
you know, people would remember to use that word.
have we already
Expired.
accepted 424?
No, we have not.
Okay, I'm gonna move to accept number 424. That's,
We did already.
no, I don't think,
Yeah,
I asked, you, we didn't
Talk
vote
about
on
it.
it.
Alright.
Do you want to put it over
Second.
there with the good ones?
Yeah, these are the.
Oh, well, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, passes. Yes.
This gentleman does not have a driver's license in our system, so I cannot check it,
Oh,
and he didn't provide one.
oh, well.
Okay, so,
So-
all right, and which number is that one?
Well, and his previous address was Southgate, Michigan.
Is this 435?
No, this is 446.
446.
All right, so that's gonna go down and
So we'll
with
just
that
add him
group
to that. All
I
right.
think.
And so what about
Adam
443 and
has- he's got a big
435?
pile.
They're on, she's checking to see.
Those are the other two
Yeah.
she's checking right now, okay. So we
Again,
asked them.
probably for poll worker education, to
Mhm.
spend a little more time and write, saying, you know, at the end of the day, we're trying to figure out
The
what
reason.
you saw,
Right.
what you didn't see, what you heard, what you didn't
Which we
hear.
did tell them.
Please scribble some additional, well, I just think you need to sort of,
I think I'm gonna have just a provisional
Reinforce that.
class.
and frankly, the other thing is the voting location manager. Let's get them up to as much speed as we can and say, we want you to check these provisionals. I know you're running around doing other stuff, but go by the provisionals. And if you see no ID and there's an ID written in going, do you recall why
Why?
you said that was no what was expired? Write the word
Mhm.
expired.
Mhm.
You know, especially in the smaller elections, you aren't gonna get that many, but they're probably gonna have that same issue of, well, I just write no ID.
Mhm.
And the,
I think What we ought to do is give them like a cheat sheet,
A cheat sheet would be nice.
so they could say, if they did not present a license, no ID. If the license was expired,
Expired.
if their passport was
It
expired.
would be nice in a way if it was, since they're printing stuff on those,
That they put it right on the
that they put
envelope.
on it,
Yeah, I mean,
no ID
that's-
expired.
Right, that would be great.
Yeah,
Can we
But especially
we can't
when-
adjust those envelopes.
You know, especially when,
We
because
have
we're
to get,
looking,
permission from the Secretary of State to adjust them.
what do you mean?
If we wanted
we
to
wanted to
modify
add that
the
on there.
envelope.
Oh, you mean
We
to
have
add to
to
the
get permission.
envelope?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, we're old enough.
remember, this is the voter's affirmation,
Right.
right? So,
Right.
Yeah,
Verify
you know,
what
that's,
they're-
it's,
they have to.
it says you must show
Yeah.
photo ID that includes,
Right.
check the type of photo ID you provided. So if they're not checking that, this is the voter's responsibility to
but-
tell us that, yes, I showed them
But
my
here's the
ID.
problem, we don't know, without looking at the poll book, why were they told to go provisional? Is it because they have a new address?
Right.
Is it because they didn't show a photo ID? We don't know because there's nothing written on here and this is empty. Maybe they didn't have the ID, but we don't know that because they didn't put,
Right.
the provisional person didn't put that. So, and as we've
But,
seen,
but
there's lots of
even if,
reasons.
even if they put a different reason and they didn't fill this out, we
I
can
would-
take it.
No,
Right, I mean, that's
They-
required.
the
I know.
voter has to tell us
but
Yeah.
that they presented ID.
But I would feel, I mean,
Right,
it
I
pisses
understand.
me off because if this is blank and there's nothing here at all, and there's nothing up here, we have no way of knowing
Yeah.
whether they really didn't have a photo ID or what.
Mhm.
And that upsets me that we would have a person at our polling place filling this out and the person doing the provisional would see this as a blank and wouldn't just say, hey, you
Didn't
forgot to
you-
put your ID in here.
Didn't you show ID? Yeah, I did. Okay, you need to.
Oh,
fill it out.
then,
Yeah.
or
well, see.
you
they
didn't
showed
have an
that.
ID and you put it on there. I just, it's very
Then they
upsetting
put
to
it
me.
away, you know, because they
And
say.
see, that's the
you-
same thing.
You have a name change or you have a new address or whatever.
Or something.
And so-
Yeah, I mean.
Well, that's what I'm saying,
true.
a cheat sheet where we just have it on there, and we just staple it.
Yeah, no, we
Staple it right in
They
there,
got it,
Yeah,
and they have to complete
that's
it.
all I'm saying.
yes.
You
Right.
can see a voter.
That would be
thinking
so
that.
much,
Well, yeah, they.
then I feel so much more comfortable.
Yeah.
See, look what this person did, that's all they have to do,
You know.
and you see that, and you go,
Put in all
okay,
the correct
fine.
She didn't
address.
provide it.
She didn't provide it, we know
Right.
that.
Hold on.
Done. The poll worker.
I'm wondering if we
Nice.
could get
Poll
maybe
worker
stickers
say, oh, you have
and put them on the back of
You have to
here.
do the photo ID.
Right, you have to
You
write
know what
it
I'm
in.
saying?
You have to write it in,
And
even
so
though you
the-
showed it
The
to.
Well, we
poll
could just-
worker has to turn the back and say reason for
And of course, you're gonna
provisional.
get.
Well, we
the,
could just do a sticky that goes on the top.
You know, argumentative voter, and they probably ought to put something.
Yeah.
Right, well, we had a few of those here in the office.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Here's number 425.
Well, expired, they have it, so that's
So
all.
this one says
There's a few.
it expires, or so this one's valid
Valid
now. And so this one's currently valid.
But we don't know if it was on that date.
Right, we don't know.
Did they fill out the affirmation? So that they provided.
They said they had it.
When.
Yeah, they,
when
or
did
they wrote it on there.
Was this one at the office?
No,
No.
these are all polling place ones.
Okay.
Here's one.
See, what's interesting is it expires on 10/30/28.
Oh, that means,
That's
so
their
they did
birthday.
it on, what's their
No,
birthday?
Their birthday. So they did it in the year, just 24.
So they do, that's probably after.
So
So-
sometimes what people do, because that person probably didn't have their physical license yet in the mail, because when you renew it, you just get that printout. So you could use the printout, but people don't always bring the printout.
Interestingly enough, they showed up and got valid plates on October 30,
I saw one that was not filled out.
because that's the date the plate is
Because-
issued.
Some people, yeah, some
Which
people are
is
doing
their
it
birthday,
online.
but they showed up
That's what
on
I'm talking about, that's. what
Yeah,
really upsets
But
me.
the word issued to me, that would be a date where the Bureau actually issues that plate. So you would have thought,
You would think that they would bring that with them.
They would have
But that is
done
not
both.
always the case.
I understand.
Because common sense is not always the case.
I know.
And when
And they
put
could have
on-
done it by mail
Well-
on the plate and then didn't go in.
Yeah, but you can now renew your license on the website.
Yeah.
And so people don't print out, they get emailed the verification and
How
they
do you
don't
get a
print it
picture
out.
without smiling?
They use your old picture,
Oh, really?
yeah.
You remain young forever.
I was gonna, that's
So
what
if you
I've
like
said,
it-
I've said that
So if
all
you like
along.
the picture, then I guess that's the way to go.
I'm gonna ask him, do you still
This
have the one I
four
got when I was
43 is
16?
showing suspended.
Ah, well, that takes care of
That
that.
does take care of
And
that.
435 shows expired.
Okay.
There you go.
So that's
Suspended.
443
That's not good.
Suspended.
and 435.
Okay, okay,
Maybe we should,
Reject
443
and 435 are reject.
Suspended and expired
435
licenses.
You
rejected,
have no idea
Right.
when people show up, they don't have a valid license.
And
And the clerk's-
443, was that the other one?
Get their card.
So that one is reject.
Yeah.
So the question is, what do we do with this?
so I have, wait a minute, I have 425, 443, 446, no IDs. 443 and 435 definitely reject. So is 425, 433, and 446 definitely reject as well?
No, wait,
IDs?
435 and 443 are definitely rejects.
Okay,
The question is, what do we do with
Let's put on those
425?
two.
Where's four
No,
twenty-five?
no, because we haven't done any of these.
We haven't done any of.
We haven't done any,
Except for
only one we've done,
424.
we've only done one 424.
Yeah,
Yep.
no, my point is, let's go ahead and reject.
No, but I'm
Two.
saying, when we do all of these, we'll do those too, we'll just, because they're already with the other ones. So really, we just have to decide what to do with 425, where her birthday is actually October 30th.
Right,
And so this expired on the 28th. Oh, it was issued, no, wait, here
No,
it
those
is.
are
no,
plates.
that's her plate.
That's her plates, okay. Her,
She's just valid,
And she
Through
valid
28.
now.
which of course she would be,
Yeah, no matter
whenever
what
you
you-
re-up.
It's your birthday.
Wouldn't matter because it's your birthday.
but the license does say issue date on it.
Yeah, but we
No,
don't.
the
we don't issue
plate,
that.
the plate says issue.
well, I know, but if you go to get your license plate,
You're gonna
hey,
get your license.
your driver's license expired. That happened to me. I totally forgot about it. Oh, did you know that your license was on? I said, oh crap, no.
Like, cause they don't even,
So this, no ID. What, let's talk about this. Who made this now? No ID. No.
I mean.
That,
That
that should be the forward.
The poll worker.
Yeah, the one in black there was done by the poll worker.
Well, then why did, okay.
Because it's likely expired.
Cause when
So
you,
they show them and they give them the.
Yeah,
they gave
so
them the
she says,
number.
yeah, she provided it, but our poll worker says, no, she didn't.
Yeah, well, see, you go to the, you start at the poll book and
Yeah.
it's gonna come up, right?
on the poll book, yeah, if they scanned her license,
When they scan that,
then it would come up
it
and
would
say it
come
was
up and say
expired.
Mhm.
Okay, well then.
Or when the poll worker
And that-
looked
and that's
at
up
it,
to
and
them.
then,
they saw
and then
it
you go to the
was expired.
provisional and the poll worker writes in no ID at the
Instead of
top,
saying expired.
It should say expired.
right?
But if it's expired, I mean, it's
it's
expired, it's
expired,
still
it's
no
not
ID.
void.
I mean, you can.
Oh, no,
still-
absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, you can still write.
So my
Can we,
question-
can we check
if
the
it's
poll book and
expired.
see what the poll book says for
I
this?
think she.
We did.
Oh,
yeah.
did you?
Which one was that one?
This is 425.
Or what was the name?
Elizabeth
Well-
Bryant.
They put no ID was what they put in the poll book,
Yeah,
Do they
no
ever,
identification.
do they ever put expired in the poll book?
I'd have to look and see if that was a
Do you
choice.
see one?
None of
On that
these ones say it.
Mm.
They all just say no ID.
Maybe it's not a choice.
And so the poll book, as of that day, it's
so
up,
you'd
it's up
have
to
to
date.
say that the plastic shown was expired.
Yes,
Or she didn't have. it.
correct.
Or she didn't have it with her.
Right, and she
Right.
had her license
But she
memorized.
memorized her.
She knows her number, it was the
License.
same number, a lot of people know their number.
Yes.
Yeah,
So she might, and even if she, the question that I have is, even if she had a valid driver's license. And she left, and she had the wrong one with her.
Right, she
did
might
not
have the wrong one.
present valid ID.
Right,
And she didn't come in and cure it.
Right.
right.
That too.
uh,
That was forward.
yeah, 'cause
That's
Because for some
425.
reason, people keep their old licenses.
Well, they give it to you, they used to take
They
it.
give it back
Yeah,
to
they
you, but
give it
people
out.
keep them instead of destroying them.
I know,
But they carry them around.
I saw one voter in here, he carried both of them.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
But like, why are you?
All right, so
Yeah.
I move to reject 422 and 423 and 425 through 446
Second.
for failure to have ID.
What was the first one?
422 and 423 and 425 through 446 for lack of ID.
Second.
any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes.
Okay, so
What about 443
this
and
is the reject,
445?
right?
Yeah.
This
Was
is
that
the-
part of that?
That's the reject and that's the, yes, that's acceptable.
443 and 435 are part of this?
Yes,
Motion.
absolutely,
Okay, rejected.
The only one we counted was 424.
correct.
Okay, yes.
All right.
So, what are we
So
at
what
now?
is pending review me?
All right, so those ones, we're still waiting for a few of those from the other counties. So if we want to skip it
Okay,
and go to the page that has accept partial ballot, correct poll. So there's 3 there.
so the poll
It was
worker gave the wrong,
548.
they gave him the wrong,
Right,
wrong
could
ballot.
be to
Yeah.
a scheme of these, I guess, that looks like Marietta one B. Independence and Newport, you could do those.
Yeah, so that was these ones.
Easily.
Would that be, how would they do that? Is that because the authority to vote was wrong or?
Yeah, well, this one here,
Because the authority to vote says the township
Mhm.
or the precinct on it.
Precinct on it.
right, well, if they put in the address, because this isn't, their address changes.
So Ray Church run Pew.
Yeah, so this one was, yeah, that was one that was here at the office, actually, that we gave them the wrong one.
Now that's a signature I can get on.
So are there any,
These were all
we need to
address
remake
changes.
these, right? And does it make any difference in terms of what they had to vote on? On any,
Right.
that's my question, and any
Not
And
of
that
this,
one was at
not on this
the,
one.
We're about to find out with the original ballot. Yeah, once again, we're in the right church, went to the wrong pew.
this one, we just had some, we were trying to figure out what precinct they really were. Because this person lives on Kinderhook Ridge Road, but there's also just a Kinderhook Road. So the voter was kind of confusing when they were giving us their
I guess
new
maybe
address.
525.
Well, they left it, the former and the current identical,
Well, yes, because people don't know what they're doing.
those required.
Well.
Well, the former's not required.
Informal address.
So we have to remake these, is that it?
Right. If you accept them.
Well, I mean, is there any
No,
reason
this
not
guy
to?
moved
No,
the
I mean,
same
not in
address.
mine.
So what is this pile? What are these three?
These are, they were
Given
in the
the
correct
wrong-
polling location, but were given the wrong ballot.
Signatures match.
Not address
Right,
change.
everything.
Their address changes, yeah.
Yeah.
So we can
What
open up,
polling location?
So we can
but
accept
we're
it.
gonna have
We
to
have to remake
remake
it.
the ballot.
Right,
Okay,
so we want to put those in a separate stack.
all right, so I move to accept 548 through 550 for remaking the ballots. To be the correct designation.
So I have a motion.
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes.
All right, so the next
Put
group
these in the middle.
that starts at the very bottom is the not registered in the state.
So these people just like kind of, well, what the heck, we'll just.
Question three.
Holy moly, it's right, 140 people show up.
Please tell me
That's
that
good, the rest of it now.
Okay.
this doesn't mean what it said.
And yes, it does mean.
Good.
So that's 551 through 690. All right, I move to reject these provisionals for not being registered.
And we do check, the state has, the state voter clearing, and
So,
we check on there.
yeah, all of that, they're all not there.
Yeah.
All right, so.
Were any of these recently deleted?
Some of them were deleted people, the most recent was, there was a few that were deleted this year. That were deleted in 24. So, and that was for, it was for non-voting.
Yeah,
Um,
and they were given plenty of notification that their registration was being began.
Right, a few of them are, were the people that were deleted in prison before and never re-registered and that kind of thing too.
So 551 through 690, I vote to reject for not being registered.
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes. So.
All right, so we do have 4 here that were,
Yeah.
in the completely
Wrong
wrong.
church, forget the pew.
Yeah, they were at the wrong location altogether. So that's, this group here. One was at the.
Marietta.
Why wouldn't you be told when you?
Marietta one A
They
and
just told you to
Marietta
go.
East.
Why are these people just told to go to
Is
the
there
right
a way
place?
to go to
They
the-
just refuse or what?
Did they refuse? I mean, what's the deal? How come these
Why don't
people?
they just go to the right place? Once they're
Well,
told-
one of them said wrong location, too late to get to proper precinct.
Oh, well, okay, sorry.
That's what they wrote on this one. That was one that they voted on at, Lighthouse, but they should have went to the Waterford school. That was that one. This one, it looks like they should have voted in Reno, but voted at the fairgrounds. This one, they voted in Belpre, which was their old location, but their new address is in Reno. So they should have voted in Reno.
For sure.
What about the
They
bar?
could have, they get, depending on time, could have.
Right, I mean, I don't know what time they voted. This one was registered to vote in Morgan County. And went into Belpre City to vote, but they should have went to Lighthouse.
What about the Barlow to Waterford?
That one, they wrote they didn't have time to get to Waterford on it.
Yeah, time.
This is, yeah. Yeah, this
That's
person
what they
lives,
wrote on
this
it.
person lives in Waterford too.
So she's registered here now.
She will be
In
now,
Waterford.
yeah, after today.
So.
So they won't hold properly registered.
Right, so all of them will be now.
No go.
So do we know whether or not they were told they were in the wrong place?
Yeah, they would have told them, yeah,
That's why they got a provisional.
yeah.
Okay. Registered to go to the wrong area.
Okay.
Robin, yeah, yes.
Hi, you need me?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Come off my heart.
Well, I think we need a motion on wrong precinct. They'll be registered, but
So make a
not
motion
counted
that
for this
we
election.
reject numbers 691, 692, 693, and 694.
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed, passes.
Buildings were, evidently, there's two choices we can make in our system, or right church, wrong pew. So these are more right church, wrong pews, they were just in a different county warning
Yeah,
in there, yeah.
looking at,
Correct.
what do we call them?
Right church, wrong
Breakable.
pew.
Yeah. And again, we can, well,
Yeah, maybe we can
this will
remake
be
them.
remakes. Some of them were close.
So we accept these.
Right, then we can put them with the other ones there that we was
Those are
remakes.
remakes.
Well, that's gonna be in.
What if there's something? I don't believe there is there.
Well, if
What
there is something that they're not allowed to vote on, then we just don't.
We don't
mark
vote on it,
We just
okay.
don't,
Wait, yeah,
okay,
we leave it blank.
yeah,
So I move we accept numbers 695 through 700.
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Pass.
right, these next ones are,
The ballots missing.
yes, our interesting group, they're.
Oh, gosh.
These are provisional.
The ones you can see, like if you hold it up, there's the slip in there that they,
That's not a machine, is it?
it's the slip that they were given from the poll book.
Didn't we have a few people who just?
So we were
walked away
going
and
to
discussed?
What's that?
Didn't we have a few people who just refused to finish and just left it?
We did have a couple people here in the office that did that, that just left. So these people, I'm not sure if that's what happened, or
There's at least.
their
one
ballot
career
went through
center.
the machine and it's already been counted.
Somehow it got through the machine and not. to-
Right, the poll
Yeah.
worker, didn't have to put it in the envelope, it went through the scanner, possibly.
When they walked away or.
Probably walked up, so yeah, walked away when they were working on another.
I would say it's more
provisional.
likely they walked away rather than scanning their ballot. right?
Yeah, I mean, it could be, I mean, this one we know was issued a slip at least, cause it's in there.
Mhm.
So they were at least given a slip at the poll.
This one needn't seal.
That was not sealed, I'd say
Yeah.
they didn't,
And it's not sealed.
if those are not sealed, then they didn't,
Yeah, this
That's
one, this one
empty.
wasn't sealed. And actually, it has their stuff in there, so I would say they probably put their ballot through the scanner. Cause I think that's what this note says. Looks like the person put it in ballot box or something, so that one went through the scanner, we know.
Guess we're proving that.
No, ballot. correct.
Well, you still don't have to approve,
So,
because
it's not,
I'm sorry, so what's?
isn't our number
I
gonna
think
be
it
off by
says they put it
one?
in the ballot box, they put their ballot in.
Won't our number be off by one then?
Well, between the poll book and the.
No ballots collected, so they must have thrown it away.
well, what's the discussion?
It's been sealed.
This one.
None of this is
not
sealed.
sealed.
This one, this
The
one.
stuff is in there, went through the ballot, they went through the scanner.
No ballot collected.
So this one, hard to tell.
What number was that one?
No, this one, it says no ballot collected, so no ballot.
No ballot, so that one's okay.
I would
No ballot.
say, yeah, then that one, they never voted, yeah.
Same with this one, there's just.
Yeah, but these are both sealed.
No.
That one, there's a stub, they put it through the sheet, they put it through the scanner.
Oh,
This is empty and sealed.
Have you got most of them?
I have
Let me
five
see
more
that.
locations,
So,
sealed, empty.
Nicole, I should say.
okay,
This one is sealed.
I'm running, maybe we're go for one.
okay.
Change.
so this was.
So I mean, because we'll still.
So we would have accepted this one, right? Because they
Right,
showed ID,
yeah.
no, and it's just an address change.
And it will still update the voters' information from this, even if you
And we would have
reject it.
accepted
And
this
we would
one.
have accepted this one, this Jennifer.
We will
what's her name?
accept it.
Name change, right, it's a name change
Just a
here.
name change,
Valid.
proper signature, valid ID,
Oh, sorry,
All that,
okay. So,
okay. No harm, no foul, but, or no harm, I should say,
name change, proper ID, signature,
Big foul, no harm.
Yeah,
address change, ID, signature. Registered. Here's one though, okay, so 701.
well, can we do something like, would have accepted if the ballot had been there?
I mean, yeah. I mean, we probably would have accepted all of them if there'd been
The
Well, I
ballot
don't know about-
collected.
a ballot there.
Well, this one says voter said registered the other day, but it's not registered.
Because you have to register
By
30 days
October.
before.
Right, no, I got that, but I'm saying, so, and they're not registered. And no ballot was collected, so.
Yeah, so if they're
What
not
is there anything
registered,
even to
you can't.
reject here?
Yeah. I mean, if it's not registered, you can't accept.
So
We don't have ballots. to
we don't have a
reject.
ballot
There's no
for,
ballot with it though.
Right.
So they
for
do-
701, there's no ballot and we would have rejected it if we got it. It's 702, 703, and 704. If we had a ballot, we would have accepted it.
Right, but to
Can we
me, you
move
have to
to
reject
that
them
in there
because
like that?
there's no ballot. There's nothing to
You can't
accept.
vote.
Because the name change, we would have taken it.
Right, I mean, we can't count it, run it
We
through
check
the
it again.
Well,
scanner.
There's
Nothing
nothing
there.
I don't think there was any, I mean, is there a motion for any of this?
I think to reject them.
Well,
Well, no, how can we reject them if there's no ballot?
But
Well,
how
it's
can you
just on
accept it
record.
if there's
You
no?
gotta,
you have to do something.
are you gonna accept them?
There's
This is
nothing
not-
to accept or reject.
There's nothing in there.
There's
It's
nothing there.
incomplete.
I mean, you can reject them as incomplete because
As,
there's no
as,
ballot.
as presented, but this one, however, shows a stub.
Right, but there's no ballot there for us to count now. So in our list of counting, we can't have one that's.
Right.
That
would be
can't
plus
add it.
one.
Well, so we're gonna be, but this means,
Well, yeah,
if we
the
don't
stub's
count
there.
this means that we're gonna
It's
have
already
one
been
stub.
counted, it went through.
I understand that, but the stub is not.
It doesn't matter.
Here's the
It already
stub.
went through the scanner.
I
It's already
understand that, but
counted.
if we were comparing stubs to ballots, guess what? Here's the stub.
Right.
So I think we have to do something.
We
with this
proved that one. It looks like the name, it was just a name change. It is,
But we're not gonna be adding it to our total. here
No,
today.
no, but we can approve that it was voted
correct, and it's a valid,
and that it was a valid vote. And then we can add the
It
stubs,
was a ballot provisional,
correct.
yes.
we just don't add it.
And we can add the stubs to our stub bunch,
That's what I was
so that
saying.
we have the correct number of stubs. Because otherwise, we don't have
It'll
correct
match
stub,
the
yes,
Otherwise, we'll be
that's
minus
right,
one.
we'll be minus the stub. So I think we have to vote, we have to accept this that was voted after the fact.
I mean, you could say, this one went through the scanner incorrectly, because it should not have went through the scanner.
Ahead
Right.
of time.
Ahead of time, but it now, it was.
Right.
What number
It
is
went
that?
through on election day when it.
That's
should not.
704.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Once again, it's
Is there any way,
fascinating.
is there any way for us to take these and to look to see whether there are stubs for these folks that they were running?
I mean, we could, but that's gonna take a long time.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think we'd get it finished today.
Well, for 701, I move to reject that one completely, a person isn't registered.
Correct. But
Well, you want a
it
second?
says no ballot, second, it says
Okay.
no ballot collected,
Right,
so.
so that one we're clearly,
All right, so do I have a second on that?
Yeah, Adam.
Particular piecemeal, all right. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, passes.
This is the reject, right?
All right, 702,
And 70.
702 and 703. 70, they're sealed,
they're sealed with no.
nothing in it.
With nothing in it.
Appear to be registered voters, appear to be valid, address changes,
Can we do something
and a
like,
name change.
like, had there been a ballot, we would have accepted it? But since there's
I
no
mean, we
ballot,
could
we
say that.
Well,
reject
you
it.
can say it, but it's
There's
not.
no valid in
Put that
there.
in the minutes.
Yeah.
You can put it in the minutes, but
Okay.
the fact of the matter is that at this point, we have to reject it because
Correct.
There's no ballot.
we can't.
There's no ballot in there.
702 and 703 we reject because there is no ballot in the envelope.
All right, so I've got a motion and I think I had a second from Adam. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, passes. That brings us to 704, which is the one with the stub.
So we know it was voted,
And I think that one,
otherwise meets everything.
otherwise, we would have accepted it.
Yes,
So I think we can approve it,
yes.
just explaining to the poll workers that we have to do it here, not at the poll.
Correct.
So I move to accept 704 and add the stubs to our
Well, the
accepted
stub count,
stubs,
yeah.
stub count.
right.
I second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
So what do I do with this? It doesn't.
Give it a
Just put it
second.
in the reject file, cause
Yeah.
they don't need to open it and do anything.
Right, yeah.
Okay,
We do
so
need
put it,
stuff.
Keep the one with the stub, I think that's a
Put
separate.
that-
I'll put that,
file.
I'm gonna say, should we make its own separate little file?
Yeah.
Hopefully we have no others like this. Okay.
All right, so we're still, we have most of the pending review ones.
These are the ones we have to rename, is that it? Yes. Okay.
Yeah, those are the
Remake,
remakes, the
these
weird
are-
one, and
these
those
are
are gonna
accept-
count it. Yeah. They're gonna open them and count them.
These are accepted, rejected, remade.
This
Okay.
file was
All right.
rejected, right?
Yeah. Because these are rejected ones also, so I'm just.
Are-
Those are accepted.
Aren't those the ones?
Those are
Those are the
accepted.
accepted.
These are
These are
the
rejected.
These are the
There you
rejected.
go. Yeah,
So we'll add that in the other one.
And then that one's remake.
These are remakes. This is the
remake, and that's
stub.
the oddball with the stub, and
those
those
are
are the
accepted.
open up and vote.
All right, so now we are to wrong precincts. No, we just do.
Yeah,
pending
The only
review.
ones left is the
Oh, we're-
pending review,
Okay,
which we haven't got quite all of those yet, so if you want to, we can move to absentees.
Sure.
Sure.
We might
Okay.
have those pending reviews.
where is that? Those are-
So then you have a separate.
Please,
Okay.
got it.
Okay, so this is the first group you have there is postmarked in time.
So that's A
Meaning
through L.
that they arrived in time and they were postmarked.
They were postmarked
properly.
and, yeah, they were postmarked by the fourth or before.
Yes,
So which was the fourth, was the day before the election.
the cutoff,
Yeah, so those can
And they
be,
were received timely.
right?
they were received within the 4 days after the election.
And that's A through L.
Yes.
Right, and they're good to go, yeah.
I move to accept absentee ballots A through L.
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, passed. The next group,
Okay, accepting is
Yep,
here.
yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so this next group, they were postmarked too late. So they were either postmarked at the 5th or later.
later.
It's 1 through 15. Okay, so I guess I move to reject
Oh, good grief.
numbers 1 through 15. Somebody send it by priority mail and it was a wrong day.
Yeah, or I'm not, yeah, cause they paid, I think it said
Extra.
$32.
This one's $32.
And it was postmarked election day, yeah.
See, they think it's like tax day, but as long as it's postmarked.
Yeah. Mercy.
There's a motion on the floor.
Yep,
Oh, for what?
rejecting 1 through 15.
Okay, and there's a second. Or we're gonna wait until take a look.
Adam?
Adam,
Well, I
okay.
just want to look for that.
32
bucks.
bucks.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So send it the day of
What, But yeah, I
That
suspect
came
there
from
are,
Alaska, the
there
one
are
for the
people.
$32, I think,
Oh, really?
yeah.
6.
let's see.
6. 6.
Ooh.
Come on, mail.
Well, you just gotta hold it here. Okay.
I second.
All right,
They're here.
any further discussion?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Hearing none.
That's right.
Hearing none. All in favor? Opposed, passed. The next group are those that had a problem that needed curing, am I correct?
Yes, and they did not cure. One of them, the first one there, did go to the polls and voted, on election day. Since there's,
So that's why they didn't cure it.
Yeah, instead of curing it, they went, to the polls.
And I talked to Laura. Laura was my former.
And,
She's elderly.
and so that's already been through the approval.
Yes.
Right,
Okay, so
So-
these otherwise are,
Good.
I vote to reject 1 through 15. And
you're,
Of the uncured.
what are the reasons for the uncured? Oh, I see. They
yeah, there was
didn't
different
do IDs.
reasons.
In circles.
Today.
and again, those are the situations where we notify the voter. I think we have,
Signature not match on the.
Oh,
There's one here.
so that's a good.
What's missing?
I have to look at it to see.
Before we vote on this,
Or
let's
am I
just look at that.
uncured, when was it received? Am I uncured it too late?
No, these ones weren't cured any.
So.
This was the signature didn't match,
Oh,
that's what was circled. Or that one they didn't provide an ID. That one looks like they didn't even sign.
It's just initials.
what is that? Does that mean it didn't match? Is that what you, if you circled like
Yeah, if it
this?
was on there and it, yeah, that means it didn't match.
Not signed. Just
Not a signature. No signature. Called not correcting. That message, no signature. Oh, didn't write anything in, didn't match, signature.
And these people we did call,
Yeah.
and try to get them to come in by Saturday. That one, the address didn't match,
I see, okay.
and then that one, they didn't provide that envelope, the ID envelope.
Did you move?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, second.
any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? That's
These ones,
the infamous.
yeah, these stubs,
Oh.
they,
Are they among
Provided-
the missing or are they in here?
Or they
Yeah.
there?
the stubs are not,
They're just
They're
clearly
among the
gone.
missing,
yeah.
so that's kind of black blood.
Yeah, if they were
There's not
in,
much we
if
can
they
do.
were in there, we counted
You
them.
just.
Oh, if they
look
were,
right
they were
at it.
detached
But
one
if they was
side,
attached,
and it
then we
matched.
counted them. But these ones, they were not there at all.
I need you to get into your email, but.
Oh, okay.
Can I ask a question before you leave? Did any of those have one stub?
No, I don't think any of those ones.
All right, so those are all no stubs.
Yeah,
Cause I opened up a couple that had one stub.
Right, I had one of them.
I was
And we
curious
counted
about
the
whether
one
you
on
could
the other.
vote to one page.
Right.
No.
Just being underdone.
Right.
I
Yeah.
wish they had written stub, not just detached, but gone. Stub missing,
Yeah.
because
or just
otherwise, I mean, I'm.
No stub with ballot. One of those like some came from the same mouth.
Yeah.
DEP wants to know when we are, when the votes will be canvassed and certified. Doing it as we speak.
These three.
Okay, so I vote to reject A through I for failure to have stubs.
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Passive. Fascinating.
Oh, so these were cured.
The infamous stuff. I remember one year, the way the fold went, it went right on the stub's perforation. And so we had a ton that came back with the stubs in them, and then a bunch that didn't, where we figured people, when they like opened them up, the stub just kind of fell. And it sort of, you know, maybe they were working on a desk or something and there was other paperwork and they.
I think people think it's like a souvenir. I think
Yeah.
I'm supposed to keep
And
this
then
stuff.
one,
So here's what I got.
well, you
Here's what I
remember
ordered.
you tear it
So
off and
stickers
you just
on.
forget you put it in the, you know,
But there are
bag back
instructions.
into that.
So if people just would read the
Well,
instructions.
yeah, please.
Come on.
You're really asking a lot there, Karen.
Oh.
You know, obviously a little bit extra there.
Yeah,
Okay.
Well, as important as they seem to think the road is, I would want to do it correctly.
well, the next year on the stubs, they made up for it. The perforations were so terrible.
Yeah.
You had to virtually cut them with a scissors. And we're calling them back going, last year they fell off. This year takes an act of Congress to get them,
I thought this perforation, it's good when we were doing groups of 4 and you could hold
Fold
that
them
stub
up.
over and pull it back and you could rip it right off.
You could go, yeah. I mean,
They came undone pretty easily.
yeah, they were okay.
They were not,
They
that
were
was not
fine.
hard.
They were fine.
Yeah.
But.
Now
yeah,
we'll see how
I
good
just-
our high-speed printer is. Taking them. Mm,
All right, absentees that were cured.
I'm going to run to the restroom.
They acquired, Mandy here.
Well, we don't have a stack
These
to look
should
at.
at the top, and most likely it should be good to go.
I'm assuming.
Strange, you should ask.
Is that it?
Well,
Okay,
it's a
great.
miracle.
That is a miracle. All right.
It's the same writing. So. take a look.
Okay, so this is absentees 1 through 6.
Absentees
cured.
cured, yeah.
I vote to accept.
Second.
Second, yeah, it's not here to
We
take
got
notes.
a motion and second.
Oh, neither one over
Right.
here to write.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
All right.
They go
All
over
right, you write down
yonder.
and we'll tell
Yeah.
1 through 6.
Yep.
And does that take care of this?
Now, the next one requires that handy dandy scanner.
That one's.
Do we
have to
have
wait
one of
till-
those?
No, Caleb.
I think Caleb is coming at 10,
Oh,
Yes, at 10.
more or less, give or take. Apparently there's more to give this time. Have we put you to sleep yet?
Almost.
It seems like such an exciting affair, but at the end of the day, it's a lot of minutia. And in some respects, I think it's difficult for some voters and obviously our poll workers to get all the minutia correct.
Yeah, no, it's good. I mean, it's
Yeah.
interesting to watch. I get some people asking me questions about how it works, so it's good to have it firsthand.
You know, and in this election, for the most part, you know, the margins were wide, but we have a tie.
In one township.
Yeah. So.
On the liquor option.
you always
I
get-
haven't watched this to see whether or not any of
It's the
those,
Sunday, right?
was it
You want me to
was
call
new
them
map?
now?
The Sunday sales.
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah, let's see, do we have any new map? All right,
Oh, I've seen some new man names up. Oh, yeah. Yeah,
I'm looking through
yeah.
here, let me look through here.
We
We know.
zipped through and got the, we did the next one on our cure.
Yeah, the
We
cure,
did the cure.
1 through 6, I
So
moved.
did you
We did
reject
that.
the?
We did Stubbs, yeah.
Adam kept track.
Yeah,
Robin moved,
Okay.
Kenny second, vote unanimous to approve.
Okay.
right. And then we accepted those.
You're accepted.
So
And
it'll be
they're
new
in
map,
the
right?
file, et cetera. Now we're at the no postmark, but I
And we're
don't see
waiting,
Caleb.
yeah, we're waiting.
We
Robin.
were gonna swim on to,
Yeah, I don't see any new maps here.
Unanimous.
what we're left with now is, review in progress.
It was new map, right? So it'll be new map precinct, I don't see any new maps yet.
So you're gonna apply us with sugar and carbohydrates.
Right, I guess that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I was thinking we needed. So are we looking at A?
Well, we're
Well, we're
waiting.
waiting.
Not yet, because
for-
we're waiting on Caleb, because it doesn't have a postmark.
Oh, okay.
Oh, can we see it?
Yeah, right here.
You know, Jim Hawkins and I had pretty good eyesight.
Oh, here's one,
It's remarkable.
okay.
That could be it.
That could be it, that could be, that could be the tiebreaker.
One, because then that could.
I mean, it's in there, yeah, okay, let's see if there's more than one. So 4, I got 1.
Did this require a 2-ounce stamp?
Actually, we even got some of no postage, the post office was delivering them, you
That's
know.
so
They
smart.
said, they were told they were to deliver it no matter what.
Yeah,
And that came from DC.
All right, here's a second.
We're back to tie.
Oh, no, we rejected those. No, we accepted that, no, I take it.
which one?
Oh, no, well, I'm just counting some Matt Morris, just seeing if we've got a
A
possibility of tie breaking. Although we have a possibility of possibly a tie.
Yeah, my thought was that if it's sort of going the same way with what comes in, we probably are gonna have to recount.
Oh, we're gonna have to recount, I think, no matter what, because there's not enough, here's another one, okay, there's.
Well,
Tiebreaker.
Two.
Oh,
we will
okay.
Wait a minute, did we, pending review,
And it's
so we don't know yet.
156.
So there's 4, but so we're potentially still
It's
tied.
then 312, I guess.
It is hilarious.
156, 150, 150.
Yeah, you can sell beer, but
306,
no, it's not bad.
So,
These all rejected.
No, these are,
Still pending.
these are rejected.
We understand
Go
those
back.
petitions
okay, so
they-
three,
that they're asking the
312
council, because Blaze is on the council,
times,
to reject.
wait, what is it, 005?
Yeah.
How are they gonna do that?
They
1.5.
can't.
I mean,
Ballots.
what's their thought here?
So hopefully we'll get
So
there.
that's
Maybe
two,
they want us to see from the.
Okay,
two
so
ballots.
what did we say, 4? So there's 4
Two
there.
for
so-
sure,
Two
and two
for
more
probably.
pending,
Well,
Yeah.
it's a 2 ballot margin
yes.
on a recount, because it's based on, right now, it's 1.56 ballots.
So
So that would round to 2.
did you add the two?
So if you add 4.
So if,
So
well,
4
no, but I'm just, the 4 won't change that
It won't change that.
number. Because I'm rounding up to 2. Because it's 0.005 times
Mhm.
300 and, it was 12, so you had 4, it'd be 360. So it's gonna be 2 ballots. So if they all came in on one side, no
We're good.
recount, but if they split,
Call
or
the news, call
3 and
the
1, it's gonna come within 2. Yeah, life's grand.
Well, TAP for that.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Oh, and we can't really tell with the, unless you look, the absentees, they're unknown.
Oh, yeah, we don't know, you're right, we don't have their precincts, so there may be more.
Yeah,
We know there's 4.
So either no, or yes, yes.
Or no, yes, yes. Or only 2 count, in which case it's.
Or, God forbid, they didn't vote on it.
There is that. Oh, no, we do have plenty, yeah, that's right,
that's
we do have
true.
that. We have
That's
people who
true.
did that.
Oh, yeah.
People are so unbelievable.
Yeah, they skipped their way,
Skip past the backside.
yeah. So-
Cause it was on the back.
Yeah.
Oh, on
She
the very
won, was
back.
up- Yeah,
On the very back.
Yeah,
Yeah, we do also have another absentee who, this person requested their ballot. Like early in the summer, and then registered to vote before the deadline in Fairfield County. So we had mailed them their ballot. And
they mailed it back.
Voted it, yes.
Did they vote in Fairfield?
No, they checked with Fairfield.
But
And
They're-
on the date that they voted.
they weren't registered.
Here, but they were registered in Fairfield County.
Wait. So they were registered here or not?
Yes, they originally were registered here
Okay,
and requested a ballot.
right.
Moved to Fairfield.
And then
When?
they registered to vote in
When?
Fairfield County before the deadline, before the October 7th deadline.
Okay,
That sort of cancels ours.
right.
So then we could put them into emergency status, which is like a deleted, because they're registered in another county.
Here.
Right.
Then
And
why did we send them a ballot?
because we used the company to mail our ballots, so it was in that,
Before the time.
yeah, it was already in that stack.
do we know how many that were mailed out on October 8th that did not come back?
No,
Is there any way we can find out?
we could manually go through and look.
But we can't go through the database?
Sounds like Karen's.
There's not like there's
No,
not like.
I would like to, because that's an opportunity for us to talk to Todd at the conference.
Yeah, I mean, that's maybe something I can check into later.
Did we-
Okay,
I mean,
just
Did we, by the way, find out about the BMV thing?
the whole state was doing that.
Yeah,
And LaRose was checking into it, but.
Because that's
our
our not registered in the state.
right. I think we talked to our local BMV guy that brings our registrations.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, sometimes they just
Bring that over
don't,
here.
you know, they have to check a box or something and they just miss. Either check the box or they don't print out, because they have to print out a physical registration for them to sign to come back here, so. Somehow they're just,
So training error on their side.
I'm thinking.
So
we have
this
the
this person registered in Fairfield. Do we know what date they registered in Fairfield?
I can look it up. What was
There you
their,
go.
Okay.
if you want, I can have Melissa look it up.
The man.
Just kidding, this is here.
Not your lunch.
Did you just buy it? Oh, no, you got the.
Banner.
Where is that?
We have one that we need that. I don't know.
Where's the puppy?
He's here somewhere.
Fully
All right,
somewhere.
one more. now.
He's got himself last week.
He was a little grumpy earlier.
Dennis
He
was.
was.
Eating a treat right now.
Really? Kind of like my boys was saying.
No. You wanna get up today?
How is everybody today?
We're here.
Huh?
We're going to sleep.
We're excited.
Thanks for coming down to scan one ballot.
Yeah, it's my job.
Yes, it is.
You had to scan just one last year,
I
didn't you?
think every election I have to come down here.
For what?
precisely this ballot.
Maybe we ought to invest in one.
Every vote counts.
The
Well,
scanner.
I looked at it, it's good.
You think it's good? Cause you can read the scan, you got your eyeball on the scan.
Jim Evans and I worked very hard at that.
Nice, Scruffy.
Does anybody know how much the tennis center costs to reserve?
It's pretty expensive.
Is it?
Well, I'm going out there this evening. Well, the Community Foundation's having an event. And I wouldn't ordinarily necessarily go to that, but I said, I want to go out there just to see.
It's very nice.
Starts at what,
5:30, I think.
5:30,
I think, let me double check.
5:00.
I didn't get a chance, their magazine came in, or cat, whatever.
Yeah, this also, I think they have a raffle going,
I got something.
1 ounce bar of gold.
No, you're right, it is 5.
And I forget what the buy-in was.
That's right, and it's like stamped.
Yeah, yeah.
Community Foundation.
Larry Hall, yeah, it was,
Or engraved somehow.
So what's a 1 ounce bar of gold look like?
about what?
How-
Cost? Oh. It's not nearly as big as, you know.
Print off there, I was in the
Looks the same as all the
Pardon
other
me?
1 ounce
Not
bars.
quite as
Yeah.
I know, I was gonna say the movies haven't, obviously, you know, like.
It's about, you buy it's about $2,700.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing right here.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's down $127.60
So what is this,
last week.
For Christmas gifts, 2 years in a row, my first year, I gave all the kids and grandkids 10 ounces of silver.
Mhm.
And they had to, but the first gift they got was Crossman's aftershave, which is a very old aftershave that someone like me would have gotten patted as a kid when you got your hair cut. Or the ladies got our Page perfume, which is a very old perfume. And then they had to write, because I said, this is basically a useless gift. Tell me what it means to you. And then I sent them the silver. The next year, I went and bought very specialized soaps and sent them each a very small bar of gold. And every Christmas, of course, I read the Christmas story. That's sort of my shtick.
Yeah.
Well, it ends with where Mary, remembers all these things and stores them in her heart. They usually stop there. Well, the next time I read the rest of it, which is the Magi showing up. And so I said, you remember the useless gifts? They were the most important ones because they were myrrh and frankincense. And that was, of course, the notion that he was going to need those.
Yeah.
And of course he would, and that's the gift of Christmas. It's not the gold. The gold was important because they were going to go to Egypt. They didn't know that. But, and when they went to Egypt, they would have had no money. So they were given all this gold by these guys, so they were able to live in Egypt before they came back.
So what do you
Because
got?
they couldn't have come back to their family, because most likely
this
they'd
is-
have been
Is that the
executed.
scan one?
Yeah.
This is the Fairfield County,
Okay,
the person that they requested their ballot with us. They filled it, they signed it on 9/19. We got it on 9/23. They registered to vote in Fairfield County on 9/25.
So they were registered with us.
At the time they requested the ballot, yeah, or when we got the
When we got
application
it.
on 9/23.
Right.
So 2 days later, they registered to vote in Fairfield County.
And
But they
actually voted in Fairfield County.
No.
They did not vote.
Only voted with us.
But they're currently registered to vote in Fairfield County.
Right, and that indicates that at the time they voted,
What number is that?
Right, when they would have actually
This
got
is
their
number one.
ballot in the mail.
They were living
They
in
were
and registered.
And they filled this out on 10/11.
Okay,
So when we
it's
got
number
it,
one.
they
and
read-
we-
Well,
So they had already,
And where they requested to have their ballot sent, if you look at the other one, was,
yeah.
no, they
No.
requested to have it sent.
Oh.
Yeah.
So,
All right, well, I'll try to go.
so what do we do?
I reject it.
I guess we have to.
I move to reject
Number one,
number one of the merged, the Fairfield County ballot.
I guess.
For the reason that they were obviously living in Fairfield County and registered in Fairfield County when they voted.
At
They
the
rec-
time of
they-
the voting.
Yeah, at the time that they received their ballot and cast their ballot.
Yeah, rescind it.
All right, I'll second it.
Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes.
He was registered
She
in
was-
Fairfield, she was.
She was
registered-
originally registered with us,
Uh-huh,
sent in the request for an absentee ballot.
uh-huh.
Then before the deadline, which was after she sent in the request, she registered in Fairfield County.
And asked for the ballot to be sent to her new address in
In Fairfield County.
Okay, was registered in Fairfield
At the time of her vote.
After,
at the time of vote.
at the actual time of voting.
Yeah.
So when we sent her the absentee ballot, she had already at that point changed her registration to Fairfield.
Okay, I'm not gonna put those details in.
Yeah, you
Just
don't,
reject.
we're just gonna reject it.
Uh-oh, you can't have any more to say because.
All right.
Okay. I think we have some debate.
So now where's the scanner so we can
Oh,
put Caleb to work?
Randy's hard at work with it.
Really? Are you gonna help?
Willie helps, he always likes to help. He's up for helping.
Oh, he was helping flatten ballots.
Oh, yes, he did.
Ah,
He went late on him.
So he helped.
Do I have to keep these once we once I make the minutes?
I don't think
No.
so.
Those are not, yeah, those are
No,
not.
nothing.
Oh, there's the blank page.
What short for Willard? Willard.
Okay.
Yeah, one of my kids calls him Willard.
Willard. I had an uncle named
He looks like
Willard,
a rat.
and he was such a Willard too.
Who?
My uncle,
Oh, your uncle.
great uncle, Garnet and Willard, no, not
I never had a-
Garnet, Marjorie.
Wasn't Willard the rat?
Yes,
In that movie?
yes, from Ben,
Is that what it
the
was?
music or the Michael Jackson song Ben.
Oh, is it?
It's a beautiful song, but it's not about rat. No, I was wondering about the tennis center place. I thought we might do something for the poll workers since it was such a
That'd be
big,
nice.
busy, just a pizza party or something.
That'd be expensive.
Huh?
What funds? Okay,
Well, you know, the Shrine Club or the KFC, they're gonna be cheaper.
Yeah,
Broughton's is expensive.
I mean, I would probably buy the pizza. I would talk to Smitty's and get a very deal. But yeah, where's free though? Where's a big place free?
Oh,
in the cold.
Park,
Oh, in the parking lot.
park, but it'll be outside.
Okay,
One of the
everybody buckle
schools-
up.
one of the schools might let us do something like that. A church, actually a church would do that.
What church in town has the biggest center?
Well, First Pres, they've got that big downstairs.
Okay.
And they'd be the ones,
Sir,
I
thank you.
think would be most likely.
There, this one with no postmark came up that was postmarked on the 2nd.
How about the Presbyterian?
Oh, you did it?
Yep, I just did it.
Caleb,
The
gave- oh, you had,
He gave me the,
I just bring the scanner.
You just bring the scanner.
oh, and that automatically happens?
well, I just plug it in and
We just.
Appreciate
Oh, you did borrow it.
Remember, it's like the King's Island, it
I was
doesn't.
correct.
Okay, so what did you think, Dennis? And your
I said it was
eye.
valid.
You had a
You said it was-
50-50 chance.
That's true.
What number is
There
this?
was no
It's
50. What do you mean
A,
50?
absentee.
A, no
Valid or
postmark,
invalid?
and
Well, yeah, but there were a ton of dates. that come-
I move to
You
accept
didn't ask
A,
me what day.
Postmark, when was it postmarked?
It was postmarked the second,
November 2nd.
and it
Yeah.
had no postmark on the envelope, so we scanned it and it came up November 2nd.
I second.
So I have a motion and second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, passed.
So the only thing left now are the pending reviews.
Yes, and we have almost all those, but there are a couple that we can go ahead and,
Well, pull those out and tell us the numbers.
okay, so this first one is number 44.
Huh?
Oh, no, sorry,
47.
452.
452,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
And then this one was kind of, I'll explain this one.
Is this the 452 you're talking
Yeah,
about?
452.
Okay,
This lady came into our office to vote early. She took her ballot home with her thinking it was her receipt. So the husband calls later because the wife's like, hey, look at my receipt I got. Yeah, that was the ballot from the touchscreen voting machines. And he's like, that's not your receipt, honey, you know, these.
it's your actual ballot.
So that's your ballot, yeah. So they called in and I'm like, well, come back in, she can vote a provisional and then you guys can decide what you wanted to do with it. So her ballot she took home with her, of course, we did not scan, they brought it back and we soiled it.
Oh, you soiled it?
Okay, yeah,
Oh, okay,
ballot.
so we'll accept that.
So this is her only vote,
All right, this is 452?
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I move to accept 452.
I second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, passed.
Took ballot home and voted.
Look, here's my ballot.
Brought it back.
Yeah, brought it back.
Brought it back. We have the ballot, we soiled the ballot.
Soiled.
All right, that's fair enough.
These
What are the
four,
numbers?
they are number, I'm gonna put them in order right here, so we'll have them. Yeah, so 458,
Okay,
472,
okay.
503, and 506.
Okay. So what's the deal on these guys?
These ones, we have no idea why they voted provisional.
Cause it appears everything is there.
Everything appears to be here, the poll workers never noted anything about the identification being.
Can you go back to the poll bag?
We did, and there's nothing.
But so it looks like it all fits.
Yeah.
Well,
All right.
at the top
Maybe
says
So I
Maybe
guess,
all of the
Name change.
machines were
Yeah,
being
but
used,
that wasn't-
they were in a hurry,
It
whatever,
said,
they had to.
but their address was the same as what we had.
so, all right, I move to
So-
accept
Yeah.
458,
Yeah.
472, 503, and 506.
Yeah, second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed, passes. All right. The pile.
When you guys were out and about, was all.
Those are the ones that are accepted. Yeah, and there's a
You mean like
peculiar.
the sit down, the voter, the where you.
No, for all of the freedom votes.
I would say, this is my opinion, I don't.
We have one that got provisional, that's somehow they went and voted, and the only thing in the envelope is stuff.
Machine or two.
And so all those are.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Warren, I
And
can
Andy
take
and Wendy to
One or
vote.
two from Marietta.
Marietta didn't
but-
need all
Because there was,
those.
at least the time we were there were a lot of open machines.
Yes,
back
there
towards
were.
the back.
Yeah.
And in Warren, they were almost all used.
I know the little time I was up there, they were all used.
Was it Newport?
Yeah, where they had.
It was, people were waiting, and
Just
Newmat and Newport had people waiting.
but they,
Yeah,
So they could use it.
I mean,
it wasn't long.
So few
And they
numbers
moved here.
anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't think
some
it's
of them
worth
even
it.
No, I don't
say.
either,
but I do think we
Saw
need
that
to
they were
add
at
to
one time
one.
registered
Yeah.
there, so we just tried to.
right,
Maybe
so they would have
because-
bumped up here.
There's
Our
3,000
equipment
motors.
is not registered.
Right.
We're
and
not
they had
moving
it-
people.
if we rearrange,
Yeah.
if they rearrange the
They
room,
moved
I think it'll
elsewhere,
help.
moved it, so-
As they said
So we
before,
checked
putting the
with
OUs by the
other
door,
Right.
counties just in case.
having them
Yeah.
come in and then go in a
Yeah.
circular.
So they're gonna be all over.
They
That
just
should-
redid it.
So
Okay,
are we
what else
ready to
we
go
got?
to those?
What
Here
numbers
we
we
go.
got? What are you looking at?
These ones, were not registered in our county, so we
Okay.
looked up on the state voter query to see if they were possibly registered in any other county.
Yeah,
And they had been at one time, so we contacted the other county just to make sure, they really are, deleted there for some reason. And they're all deleted in the other counties, so they're not registered anywhere right now.
all right, so which numbers are these?
So they are 466.
Okay,
All right, we're down to here. 512. 523. 536. 547. 490. 499.
bingo.
481. 451. 517. And 544.
Not registered here, but was at one time in other counties, but not now.
But
not now.
What was the last one?
544 was the last.
Okay, so I vote to move to reject 451, 466, 481, 490, 499, 512, 517, 523, 536, 544, and 547.
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed, passes.
These will be printed out here.
Yeah. 547.
Yeah, they'll be registered here now. Now, these are all people who,
Hold on a second, we're just
Yep.
making sure
Wait
our
till you
records are
finish
the
your notes.
same, game on the same, 523. 517. Oops. Yeah. And 499. 90. Four 81. Did you get 481?
Yep.
Not this one. 66. And 451. All right. Okay.
so all the rest of these, they were registered to vote in their other counties and they did not vote there.
And so we're all good.
You're right, so they're good. They were properly completed, and if you wanna look at any of them, you can, but properly completed and will now be registered here.
All right. So I move to accept 447 through 450, 453 through 457, 459 through 465, 467 through 471, 473 through 480, 482 through 489, 491 through 498, 500 through 502, 504, 505, 507 through 511, 513 through 516, 518 through 522, 524 through 535, 537 through 543, 45, 545, and 546.
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye,
Aye.
opposed, passes. All right,
Let's make sure that,
So
let's see if
they're
any of
all
their
accepted.
event people were knocked out.
and that clears away the problem.
Yeah, so that's,
There's two of them,
no, that,
Are they accepted?
Well,
yes and yes.
Okay, they're both in?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So those two, and then we have a couple otherwise, and then we don't know about. So we know there were 4 more in our liquor one. So are we done?
I was wondering if those-
Have we gone through?
these are all ones they rejected.
Those are the remakes.
Yeah, we have to remake.
The ones you just.
These are.
Oh, that, and then
These are
this one,
rejected.
actually, they rejected, the person voted regularly in Banks County and then moved here. Or, well, they'd already moved here, but they went to Banks County and voted there, regular, and then came here and voted for this.
Oh, can't do that.
Right.
These are the rejected.
These are rejected ones. Let's go here.
we had one that came from Alaska and they paid $32 on election day,
So these are good, right?
so
Those-
no good.
Are they those marked on
Those are
election?
remakes, and that's
These are
the,
fit
that's
rather
the
than-
stub to add the stub,
Yeah,
and those are remakes.
so these are good ones here.
Yeah.
And these are good ones. So one thing, all those.
Those are.
Do you, Robin,
Those
you
are-
show me those
Yeah,
numbers,
these were good,
because I couldn't
right?
write it down fast.
All right, hold on.
Those, that's the stuff.
That's just the steps, yeah, these are remakes, so I'm gonna leave on those for.
So anything that is not circled is what we approve,
Well, some of these. say-
except, well, we already did that. I'm saying, if it's not circled, that's what I would do.
450,
Yeah,
453. To 457. 459.
I hold my hands.
To
Not bad.
465.
Getting along, one step at a time, so to speak.
467.
As far as your
471,
counties go,
473.
are most of them starting now or finishing or
Today and tomorrow are they're all
482.
meeting at the same.
getting them done?
To 489.
We've got one that is a tie,
1.
156, 156.
For what?
It's a
Sunday liquor.
Sunday, Sunday.
Yeah.
yeah, that's the one.
502.
So now we
And I'll read.
504 and 505.
wait to see.
505.
And then we did have this one, that was an auxiliary bin ballot.
They said they couldn't, they put it through and it wouldn't
Yeah,
vote.
so we need to,
Remake it?
or if it won't scan for us, then we need to remake it, yeah.
Have we actually tried yet?
No, we haven't yet.
Seal is not broken.
So we can, we will try it first.
So we'll
and then
try it. If we
then
can't
we'll-
scan, then we'll remake.
Right, then we'll
Yeah.
remake it.
Yeah, no problem. So if you wanna,
I don't know if you guys wanna vote on to accept it. or-
oh. I think we
So,
had to
okay, I
vote.
move to accept the vote
Yeah, from
and
Belgrade
then
High
the
School.
stuff.
So it was a situation where they
tried it.
voted,
Go
just
through
wouldn't
the
take the
machine.
ODO, wouldn't take it.
Right,
I second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, passes.
You want me to read those back to you, Karen, and make sure we get the right numbers
Yeah. I'm on 537 and second was
to
You're on the
543
agenda.
the 543.
and 545 and 546. So let me go back to the beginning and make sure we get all
I'll
our,
go help them.
all right, here we go. So you should
Ballots, so
have
we can.
447 through
And did you guys
450.
wanna go ahead
Yes.
and wait around?
450.
Well,
3
couple of
through
things.
457,
Yeah.
What
459
about-
to
Can we draw the
465.
audit now?
467 to
Not to make it
471.
official,
Oh,
Because we don't.
That's
yeah, we have to
right.
wait
No,
till
we have to wait.
473
Yeah.
And then we'll also
Through
be
480,
learned about our
482
recount.
Right, then we have-
489, 491 through 498,
If you wanna do those, that'd be
500 through
Yeah,
five oh
maybe we
two,
can get those done.
504, 505, 507 through
Yeah.
511,
Yes,
513 through 516,
yes,
518 through 522,
through okay, I had a comp. Okay, 518 through 522.
right? 524 through 535, 537 through 543,
Uh-huh.
545 and 546.
I got
Okay.
All right, now I'm officially out of paper, so we can't have any more business.
Yes, most of my counties would just be motion to accept 35 provisional ballots of this type. Move to accept 7 provisional ballots of this time. Move to reject.
Oh, so you don't, they don't put the numbers, or the actual number, how we numbered it for our purposes.
We do our own numbering, it's not like anything.
I'm not saying you're wrong. but
Yeah.
Like,
I think that's better, I like that idea.
It's easier.
We approve, so tell me how many of all those ballots were, Robin?
well, if you've already gone through this effort, you know, that was strong.
I kind of like
Yeah.
having them numbered,
I do
because then we
too,
can pull them out.
Because we have the numbers.
Right.
I mean, we could always go back
We
and
can go back and
cross-reference
double check
that
if we need
with-
to.
Do they make the list then afterwards? I mean, because a voter comes in and says, I noticed I didn't get, I didn't vote, and I did vote provisionally. Tell me why,
Just say what.
tell me why you rejected my ballot.
If a big county like Stark, they'll have the various, sometimes just carts full of like.
Right.
Here, all of these are in this situation. Yes or no, there's this many of them, they're all in this situation.
So does the board actually look at it?
I mean, they could, they trust the bipartisan work of the staff.
Like we do, we don't.
Well, we pretty much, if we just went through and we
Well, the
have to
ones that they
find a
say
couple.
fully
that-
accept or fully
Right.
reject,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, questions about-
it's very
It
obvious.
went the other
And
way.
it's obvious, we do that, but
I think my minutes are much more detailed than most others that I've seen.
But what we did with the numbers was to stay away from the name. Because again,
Yeah.
in small town America,
it's
you know,
easy.
you could have a situation where, there's only one vote. And if you have that name, it could cause a ruckus somewhere, especially if
It was Sally's fault.
it turned out your
So-
wife
so
didn't
what-
vote for you.
What's left in those bins, or we don't care, they're all done?
Those are rejects. Those might all be rejects.
Yeah, that's we're not doing them, so they were rejected. They won't be on.
So we don't have to remake that many, 4 or 5 maybe?
Mhm.
Look like it, yeah. And then we'll find out about Belgrade High School there, and they could, if they warmed up a machine, they could put it through, and we could find out.
Yeah. And then are you gonna scan the rest of these today and then we come back? Is that what we need to do?
Mhm. And we'll try to make it, because I know you guys wanna go out there at 5, so.
Yeah, it starts from 5 to 7:30.
Starts at 5.
Hmm?
Oh,
Yeah, we got rest.
they got a community foundation
I
celebration.
Yeah, or something.
It's the 50th year of the.
Oh, is that what it
group's
is?
been around, yeah.
Yeah. But they were just like established and didn't do a whole lot until about, 15 years ago or something? They were building up and so they
Yeah.
didn't do much.
Yeah, it seemed like there was a quiet period there.
Yeah.
It started and then was relatively quiet.
I'd like to bring up something.
Fired up.
This board would consider. We worked on Columbus Day and yesterday. Was wondering if we could close the office Friday. The staff and I would like that to be considered.
Is there anything that needs to be done?
well, the audit, but we're bringing in the poll workers. Dean's gonna give us really good numbers this time.
This time.
Well, almost every time you have, that's one. But we'll have that ready for you by the 20th.
For the audit.
Mm-hmm.
And if we have to do a recount, will we know today whether or not we have to do a recount?
Yes, you will, but when you certify the election, you'll know.
Right.
Yeah.
She said we couldn't draw until after you guys
Or
certify.
potentially
Yeah,
it'll be
we
a coin toss.
Well, make sure we have that on.
Once we get the official canvas done, then we can draw to do the
Okay.
audit. Then we can-
Yeah, the old.
Well, let's
flip
hope
of
those
coin.
4 votes
For yay or nay.
One way.
are all one way. It would be great if they were all one way, or even if they were 3 one way. No, it'd have to be all one way. Could you say if it's 2, we have to recount, right? So we want them all to go one way.
We want them all to go one
Oh, we
way.
want them all to go, well, no, wait a minute, there may be one of those others, the mail-ins that we don't have.
Well, all
precincts.
the absentees.
Yeah, we don't know the
No.
precincts for
Yeah.
those.
So what's automatically a recount? Less than,
2, Dennis figured it out.
I figured out,
Half a percent.
unless there's a massive influx, when you got 300, it'll come to 2, because it's like
2 is a
1.5.
recount, so it's less than 2.
So,
So we know there's 4. There may be others, because there were about 20 some.
and if you think about the
Absentees.
sheriff's race, remember it was tight, and the way the later votes came in, it stayed tight.
Well,
Remember?
stayed
yeah, it
Yeah,
did. They say it stayed the exact
So my
same.
point is,
That was crazy.
21.
there's certainly a chance, even with our 2 vote. You know,
So we're waiting for the ballots to be remade.
I think they're gone, so they must be opening and printing and whatnot.
Don't we need to remake those ballots
She
first?
went to go get the ballots.
Get the ballots for us to remake.
Yeah, but when they bring those, hopefully they'll do that Belfry, because
Yeah.
that, if it doesn't go, we'll have to remake it.
So, and you are requesting for the audit, you want us to hand count those ballots.
Say who?
So to hand look, to actually look as opposed to look at the scan.
Yeah, you're gonna sit there and whatever elections, et cetera, are audited. Gonna be 1, 2,
Mhm.
3, 4, 5,
Okay,
and then how's that match up against?
we're bringing in extra poll workers starting tomorrow and they're gonna
Right.
put them all.
Yeah, you're
into-
gonna have to set them
Put
up.
them in by precincts.
Yeah, well, yeah, it'll be by precincts, because that's how you pick.
Right.
Well, yeah, you'll wanna keep them together, so you're not cause the only thing is, again, depending on the numbers. You probably wanna limit maybe 20 ballots or something, when
To
you have
count at a
a
time.
look over.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah,
it's,
yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know, have them
Just
double check,
please don't
et
put any
cetera,
in there or any anymore.
so they only have to go through
I
it
could
once.
answer-
I don't know, I don't know, she may be losing her glitter there. We have to
Because that's
see.
an awfully tiny number you're asking to choose from.
So how many do we have to have? If there were, what's the percentage we have to audit?
0.5%.
No, you audit 5% of the.
Oh, 5%.
Yeah, it's 5%. It's
I'm
the-
getting my,
So
Two
how
audits.
many,
Yeah.
what was our final total?
Well, 72%, but of course, we're adding
We're
another,
adding
what,
some.
300 or? Well,
Taylor, what's your largest county?
Start.
You
oh,
do have Stark.
That's your big-
5%'s not gonna add that much, you know, this is
Yeah.
what's gonna be, if they're 300 or 400. You know, you're not talking about, 15, 20 more. So the whole thing, well, gives you We have. So let's do it. Go ahead, 30,000. Let's call it 30,500.
We will go to recess or anything.
After we make.
We gotta remake the ballots,
Okay.
and then.
And we can recess.
So be roughly 1,500 ballots.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it goes
Oh,
on.
sure.
Goes under your ears.
Oh, yeah, I've seen those
So you cauliflower.
cuffs, yeah, so you don't get cream.
Just stay away from Warren, places like that.
Yeah, really try.
I'm telling you, those voters in Warren come out.
They did.
I mean, except the June election and the August. But primary in general, they are there, and they vote there, they don't, a lot of, Belgrade comes in.
And Belpres had a tax levy every time. Thank God there's pass.
I know.
Oh, man, that would have been ugly.
Oh,
Yeah, you may want to amend your vote on this one. He voted right church wrong pew, but he's not registered to vote anywhere in the state.
oh,
For 699.
Okay. And which one was this on?
It was in the right church wrong pew group.
699.
So what, have we not, didn't see it before, now we have, is that it?
Right, well, we just had him in the wrong group.
Oh,
We should have put him in the not registered anyway.
oh, okay, and what number was it?
It was on,
It was the last page.
yeah, on the last page.
So that was our remake.
Yeah, they were the remakers, so that's what I was getting about, it's ready to remake.
Let me see.
Oh, 699.
Right here. So I need a motion.
All right, I move to reject 699.
Correct.
Second.
Because he's not registered.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, passes. Of course, he'll now be registered.
Yep. Not registered.
Very
Not
strange.
registered for the-
And then if some of those other ones should be done here.
I was wondering,
Was it our friend?
what is this education officials?
Another web page.
That's one less remake.
Alright, so here's these ones to remake. Of course, the originals are in here. And then here's the ones that, the number I wrote on there like that, that's the one that should be. So this is what they were given. And this is what it should be.
All right, so the original ballot,
It's
right,
still in the
is
envelope.
still in the envelope. So the,
And here's some.
you need,
Wait,
do
so
we
I'm
need
trying
to
to
keep
figure out
a
which, wait a minute.
numbered
Yeah,
list?
Which
They
one
go
was
in
it?
order.
Okay.
So this top one goes with that one.
All right, well, hold on.
So
Do
give
we
them
need
about
a-
four, you and I.
Andy,
take
do
about
we need
four.
our list?
Yeah.
This one, I'll go get.
RVOB,
And
Yeah, I think it's in here.
this next one should be done, right? Okay,
yeah, might wanna do them one at a time.
well, we're gonna match them up first.
And divvy them
Since
out.
she
what I
says
mean.
they're like this, we'll do it like
Right.
that.
Sure.
Thanks.
You're welcome. I'll take that, so I know where that is.
Should be one candidate.
It should be good, so. Okay, so how many we got? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I'll give you 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 4. I'll let you write this time. I'll leave. Out this way.
All right, this is the original.
So what should we do with this? Should we
Put
leave
it right
this
back
right
in
back in there like that?
And the envelope, and
We're gonna
the
do
original ballot as
55.
well.
Okay. All right.
Your
so-
first one, Robin,
Yeah,
will be 56.
okay, so this is OR
And
56.
where are
And
we
you
at?
are- What the remade is RB, yeah.
It'll be,
Fifty-
is it or?
Yeah, you
We're
said
in
OB.
court, right?
OB,
Our new court.
56.
And where are you at again?
I'm at 56. Oh,
Yeah.
Little Hockey.
Little Hockey.
Okay, Trump.
All right, here we
Well,
go.
it's, the remake is Vincent,
Oh, that's what I want.
right? Check that, double check that.
This is Little Hockey. Oh, you
Right,
can see.
but the correct,
ballot
Yeah.
should be Vincent.
It should be Vincent.
yeah, so it's Vincent,
Yeah,
just
okay.
the remake.
So let me see, is there anything that? Well, we'll
There's
find
nothing
out.
on there.
Shanahan.
There should be nothing.
So, okay, it probably should have been, okay. Trump,
Dieter,
Shanahan,
Hawkins,
Dieters, Hawkins, Moreno,
Chavez.
Rulli,
Yep.
Chavez, Ritter,
Smith. Yes.
Smith, Hess,
It's gonna go straight down.
all the courtesy votes, Booth, Schilling, Coyle, Cannon, and Warden.
And
And then Judson for recorder,
Judson,
then all the others, Bates, Wright, Check, Lloyd, yeah.
right, Bates,
The other
right. Check. Lloyd. Halliday.
And no on one.
No, on the amendment. So- That's right.
How do we want to do this? Do we want to do it like this and have these balances like this, or what?
I'm gonna put I'm gonna.
I put everything back in there, I
I'm
did that,
putting the one
right,
back in.
but so should we
And
just,
then paper clip on the outside, the ballot
We're
you
not having
remake.
paper.
oh, we do not have.
Keep them
papers.
together,
All right, keep them together, okay,
yeah, and
So
then
you're
just
putting
put them
the
up there
ballot on
when they're
top, okay.
finished.
all right.
We're
so-
gonna be 57 with ours.
58, that's right?
So we'll be 58, and this would be, what's the rear making to what's the,
Marietta East D.
this is original ballot, oh, okay. All kinds of stuff going on here.
And where are we at?
So we said original ballot, what is it, 58?
58. Marietta East D.
We're gonna put this back in here.
Original ballot, 57.
Okay. Richard Duncan,
What's that, Richard?
Richard Duncan for president. A non-party candidate, I still like the name on that one, okay, Shanahan,
Hawkins,
Dieters,
Marina,
Forbes,
Rulli,
Sherrod Brown,
Chavez,
Michael Rulli,
Kevin,
Chavez,
we're gonna skip the next two.
Ritter, Smith and Hess.
We're going to skip this entire page. No.
All the courtesy votes, Booth, Schilling, Boyle, Cannon, and Warden.
Oh, yeah, nice paper clip.
No, but.
Flop it down.
Teresa Judson,
Will be 50.
and then the others, all the rest, Bates, Wright, Check, Lloyd, and Halliday.
And where are we gonna be this time?
The 2A.
Or 50?
And yes, on the amendment. Okay, what's our number?
You're gonna be 60,
60.
It is from Dunham East.
what was it?
Dunham East.
Thing.
Hold on. Get this out of here. This back into here.
Over the,
Yeah.
Well, this says Dunham East.
do
Why were we making this?
it for Brown,
This has a Dunham East ballot in it.
crib check,
Okay.
Faber.
All right, let's just put this aside. Because I don't think we need to
Sure.
remake it. It says Dunham East.
Set aside.
They just put the
We'll talk
wrong.
about it after this.
Yes, let's just
Change
set
our
this,
vote
yeah,
potentially.
let's put this over here. Okay. So our next one,
Tracy out here.
yeah,
Dennis.
we need another number.
Oh, I need it.
You done, Dennis? That RV, that remake, the OB and RV 60?
The one that we did, I just gave you, yeah, was.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we set it aside because within, on the envelope, it says Dunham West.
And they gave you Dunham West?
No,
But the ballot is actually Dunham East, so it looks to be correct.
It's the correct ballot.
Itself is correct.
the ballot itself is correct, the envelope was wrong.
So we put that aside.
Yeah, well, that
We'll
wouldn't
talk
be a
about it.
remake then.
So that's not-
We might need to
shouldn't be a remake.
revote on it.
I
So let's call it,
All
since we
right,
already marked it.
Well,
well,
What should we
all
do?
right,
Well, we haven't
we'll
done
go
anything
on and
we'll see.
you marked it, that's okay.
Yeah. So
We'll do
this one-
61 and where are we going to 62?
oh, so we're
Very-
62,
4B.
okay, so we're OB 62, and you are, and it should be Little Hockey, yeah, okay.
62's little.
Little Hawk, all right, ready?
Yep.
Trump. Shanahan,
And again, we're 61.
Dieters,
Already.
Hawkins, Moreno,
Stein.
Rulli, Chavez, Ritter, Smith, and Hess.
Donnelly.
Oh. This is odd, look at this.
Forbes.
Well, let's take
Hey.
it separate.
Ryan.
All right, all the courtesy votes.
Crib check.
Booth, Schilling, Coyle, Cannon, and Warden.
Faber. Sheard.
Judson. And then the rest, Bates, Wright,
Tracy,
Check,
Wright.
Lloyd, and Halliday.
Go to the issue. Yes.
Yes on the amendment.
We're done.
Okay, so what do we do?
If they're set aside.
So here you wanna look at it and see, but it was the envelope
I
said.
didn't mark anything
We
on it.
didn't do anything yet. The
Is it-
envelope said it was west. I pulled it out and it's east. So somehow or other,
They were sent the wrong.
there's nothing wrong with
No,
it.
there's nothing wrong with the
Give it the
ballot.
wrong-
It appears that the ballots, it's just,
I mean, we can just rip that up.
it's an address change and it looks like it's an address change within the same precinct, actually.
All right, so the original ballot,
Is the correct one, Dunham East. Cause they wrote in here, right church, wrong pew, meaning they thought it was Dunham West, but in fact, what they gave them was Dunham East, they just gave them the wrong envelope.
Well, let's double check the new address. Just make sure that we're correct on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if the new address is Dunham East, then
Then we're done, and we'll just rip this one up, we didn't do anything with it. Karen or Mandy? Addresses may have changed.
I'm the guy who brings the scanner and fetches the.
So here's the deal. When we open the envelope says Dunham West, but they were actually given the Dunham East ballot, which we think is the correct ballot, which was the correct ballot,
She checked.
assuming the address is correct. So probably somebody needs to
We
check.
need to check that.
Maybe, make sure it should be Dunham East or Dunham West. If it's
Okay.
Dunham East, we already have it, so we're good.
Okay.
My super cool coat I found at a thrift store.
I like that
And-
code.
It didn't have the cape on it, but I know exactly the right Amish person to take it to. South of Fredericksburg. He makes coats like that, but they're so heavy. They're for people that actually work outside and like. It's more coat than I need. So I just said, put a cape on.
Is that a
And then you-
split two?
That's.
Huh?
Is that a split
like
two?
It is.
Then it needs to be remade. It should be a split one.
Well, they both say split two.
two, it should be a two.
They both say split two.
Then it's good.
You wanna rip this one up?
well, let's
What do we do? And this is the original and it's correct.
What?
Just mark soiled on it.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll mark soiled on this.
why don't
one.
we do this? What's the number on the envelope?
You got the envelope.
Betty, what's the number on the envelope? 696.
yeah,
60.
All right.
I'd rather just put.
So how about we move, I move to amend, to the extent we need to, I move to amend our previous vote to remake 696 to accept.
Except 696. I'll second that.
All right,
Hold on. Write it down somewhere so we can tell. Yeah.
so we had 61.
Yeah, we have a motion in a second.
Yep. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. So we had the original ballot somewhere?
Right here.
Yeah, okay. So we get the envelope back, we can
Well, we don't
attach
have
it.
the envelope.
Away we
They've
go.
got the- Look at how this came.
Must be a problem tearing it off of the,
No,
Yeah.
you don't wanna mess the stub up.
a lot of boards gave specific instruction to tear the pages off one at a time. Cause you'd also have issue where they would tear off 3 pages.
I
Like a half of another ballot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I wonder if that will scan.
Huh?
I wonder if that will scan.
Why wouldn't it?
It just seems to be a little messy.
Well, I will grant you that, but that's what I was looking at, but it looks like it's dark
Hopefully it
enough.
does.
It's dark enough, it should
Okay, so
count.
I would go back out on Davis and start the site.
But we can note for the record that this was a full vote, so if it says undervote, then it's on.
This ballot, I just put with my stack, so we're.
All right.
Is that 696?
Yes,
There it is.
thank you.
All right, so we remade the ballots,
You need the health department or the,
and now they need to take these out of here before we adjourn.
Yeah, and it looks like the Belpre High School thing disappeared.
What Belpre High School thing?
Remember, it wouldn't go through
Oh,
it was.
I don't know, are they scanning now?
They took that.
Well, it's either it's scanned or we have to,
We have to remake it.
it has to be at least remade. I mean, they can remake it if they got an
The Belpre tax levy wasn't close enough to worry, what
The west
was it?
side, so you, yes. And it's the.
I don't know how many votes difference that was.
It was- I mean, it was close, but I don't think it was that.
Of course, with the provisionals, there's always the possibility
Well, that's what I'm
of
saying.
the scratch off no,
Yeah,
or
They
the,
have that ballot in the.
And as soon as the provisionals are ran through, then we can, let's see if this will run through the machine. We can't.
you can't.
Midway,
Yeah.
switch it to.
yeah, we don't have other machine.
Well, we might go into recess then, because you guys can, if you have to, you guys can read.
So are you gonna be ready for us at 2,
Should be.
3?
Yeah.
Can we look?
Yeah, I take it over there to extension, it's in the old Cardex building.
Well, you can send us a text at 2 and tell us where you're at.
What? What was it?
Everybody wants it, but.
It's been all day.
I mean, I have too, but I wanna take, you know, I'm gonna take it on top of our.
That was way before my time, right?
It's a vote difference.
All right, thank you.
Oh,
You're welcome.
yeah,
Okay,
so
well, you made a motion or something.
We made a motion to change and accept
696
696
from remake
to just full
to just
accept.
full set.
What's it? What, you 696
Yes,
and first?
Meant me.
a second or something.
You have a motion and second. Any further discussion?
We already voted, we already did.
Oh,
They're doing it for my.
oh, that one.
Everybody's
Oh,
taking it.
I thought you had another one. Sorry.
Alright.
Alright. So
So
here's,
these are remade.
these are the
I
remakes.
can take those
So
back.
I'm looking.
And we put the originals back into the sleeve.
That's just the stuff.
And this is the stuff, you wanna take that to,
In the past week, it's just been.
I've been sick the whole week.
Between kids being off and on and off of school, election.
My men's group was performing this past weekend and I wasn't able to sing with them because I lost my voice.
No.
Not happy about
How long have you guys been, just like a show you've been preparing for?
it. I mean, the weekend before I was singing, but
Yeah.
I mean, we've been practicing for like 10 weeks. So, you know. Fine, I had a solo. The other guys did better than me,
oh,
so
well.
it's okay.
What kind of music do you perform?
Acapella.
Mhm.
I'm actually in 2 groups this season. Well, the one just wrapped up at Sonnenberg Station in Wayne County, which is a men's group. And then I'm in the choir for the Zolicon Institute, which is up in Berlin. It's the choir raises money for that, for the institute, which is like, it's an accredited college for like conservative Anabaptists up that way. And that's all a cappella, and that's co-ed, and that's a very good thing. I'm excited for this concert. Come up and see us on Friday, the 22nd at Dover First Moravian. And Sunday, the 24th at Legacy Christian School in Sugar.
Very good.
Yeah,
Would it be Christmas themed?
no. But all sacred music, yeah.
The Marietta College Oratorio Chorus is preparing for the 98th presentation of Handel's Messiah in Marietta.
Well, you know,
Hmm?
I thought we were up to.
Oh, I can do it.
98.
There's a couple groups up my way that have been doing that for just about as long.
Yeah. Yeah. We have a new choir director, Dr. Young. Marietta sort of did away with its music department.
That's at the college.
Yeah.
But it's a community.
We have some
choir.
college students that perform, but it's mostly
Community.
community members. I've done it now for, I don't know, number of years. First time I did it, I think was 74 for the Ohio State oratorio choir.
Were you the bass soloist?
I've never sung well, I've done lots of solos in my life, but not, I've done parts of the Messiah, but not as part of a larger group, but as a standalone affair. Most of the time I'm doing contemporary Christian and Southern gospel.
Nice.
Seemed like last December, you had more male voices finally. Cause you're a little thin on that. And I thought
Yeah,
last
this
you had
year
more.
we have a huge choir, a lot of tenors and basses. We make quite a racket. Although Dr. Young is a stickler for Handel. You learn, you do this long enough, of course, you learn all sorts of peculiar things. Handel did not recognize, there was no concept of what's called crescendo, decrescendo. And what instead he did is, what they did with music in that day was, soft, very soft, sort of medium, loud, and go get it loud, and so forth. And so Dr. Young is a real stickler about, this is soft, et cetera, and there's none of these crescendo, because sometimes even our particular version will have some crescendoing in it, and we had to scratch all that out and so forth. Because again, in Handel's time, that concept didn't exist. So we're doing that. When we hit the 100th, we'll actually perform the whole thing.
The whole thing?
The whole thing.
Probably,
The whole thing. I mean, as it is, we do about 85% of it. We just shift. Every year, there's the chorus won't be doing this, that, or the other, and soloists are not always doing the same. There's certain aspects that are always part of it, and so forth, so.
The one that does it up my way. They do the overture by humming.
Oh,
They hum the
okay.
overture.
Yeah, well, we have an orchestra
That's all.
that do the
Are we
overture.
ready to do that?
I
Can
think
we
we
recess
should,
now?
because
We have a harpsichord.
I know, I just want to make sure all the ballots that you need to either
Marilyn.
take or scan
She's
are
the
gone.
company of
I didn't want to leave them
practices,
sitting there
and
and
she's
then
the
those are
music
The
department.
rejects.
probably
She
should
is a fabulous
pack them up and move them
pianist.
somewhere.
She's performed around the world. and,
Well,
Oh, yeah, we can
won
lock the doors,
all
okay.
these, words
Yeah,
and
all right.
so
I can
forth.
shut down and lock the door.
And she used
All
to
right,
go to our
so,
church.
okay.
And
recess.
Second.
we have a motion and second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Opposed, back.
Okay, so you got the stub, got it?
Yeah. Let me find out for sure.
Do you want to just end this?
I thought it was.
Pardon me?
Just end it?
Yeah, just in.
It's the vote while I'm chatting, while I hear about it.